All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to episode 61 of Passion Project, the speedrun and gaming variety show that encourages anyone and everyone in the speedrun and greater gaming communities to showcase their passions in games. My name is Amber Cyper and I will be your host tonight. And if you've got a passion project of your own and you want to appear on GDQ Hotfix, we do accept submissions over on gdq.gg/submit/hotfix. Type !submit in chat for more details. So whether that's grinding speedruns, learning and routing new categories, or breathing new life into a game in unconventional ways, Passion Project is the best place on Twitch to show the world what you love the most in speedrunning and gaming. I just want to remind everyone that you are wonderful for being here, and tonight on Passion Project, we are joined by Flicky Burb, who has been improving IL World Record after IL World Record in Star Wars Rogue Squadron recently, and after that, Soul of the Medley will be taking us through a Mario Kart Wii time trial tutorial where they break down the mechanics and high-level movement used in 4 of their favorite tracks to do time trials in, following up with some PB attempts in each course. But I'm not going to delay this any further. Flicky, thank you so much for being here tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited for this. I've been an any % speedrunner in Star Wars Rogue Squadron since July of last year, and I have been really happy to be playing a part in kind of revitalizing the scene for this game. There hadn't been a lot of movement for a long time, and I'm happy to kind of give it a kick in the pants to get everything moving again, and things have been really flying since then.
Yeah, I've seen you do this run before, and it's a great time. So go ahead. What do you got for us here?
All right, so we're going to be starting with our first 2 missions, are more or less kind of slower tutorial missions, and I'm not going to hold it any longer. We're going to get going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you. So this is Star Wars Rogue Squadron. This is an arcade flight style game originally for the N64 and for the PC for the Rogue Squadron 3D release that we are playing today. Super technically impressive for the N64 for the time. Not so much for the PC, but still one of my favorite games of the era. This first mission is you are just flying around as Luke Skywalker on Tatooine. Most of this game you are playing as Luke, with one exception that I will cover later. But for right now, this is more or less teaching you, okay, you go from area to area, taking out objectives and moving forward. We're currently in the cockpit view. I will be switching camera views a lot throughout the course of this run because they actually have different degrees of auto aim. And right now we just kind of want to glue to different targets, and we're going to go for, I can tell that guy's out of position, so I'm going to go for a backup strategy here. I'm doing a respawn manipulation by getting behind him and flying near the city. So every time there is a cutscene in the game and every time you die in the game has to decide where it's going to put you when you get control back. So we fly in a very specific way there. Typically we'll bump that probe droid so that it minimizes the time to prep for this. But in this case, it was a little too far out to the side, so I had to make my own positioning there. That's a lot of the RNG for this game, is in positioning of enemies and how they relate to our manipulations. So I flew behind them, took them out, and I spawned over the city, where otherwise I would spawn over that big area that I was flying over earlier, and it would have taken me a couple seconds to fly to the city. So our second mission of the game is a auto-scroller that is teaching us about protecting allies, making sure that we're prioritizing objectives that aren't necessarily destroying things. We are locked to 5 minutes and 19 seconds on this mission. You should go check out the speedrun.com individual level category for this level. It's like 4,000 people per each ship flying on here, all sharing the world record, because if you do the objective and get a gold medal, you are going to get the world record on this level. It's one of my favorite it's like a guest book for Rogue Squadron speedrunners in a way, and I think it's very fun. But if somebody out there can help us to break 5 minutes and 19 seconds on Barkesh, I think you will be considered a hero. So this is definitely one of the things about the early game that a lot of people just kind of like, all right, well, this is the next 5 minutes of my life every time I do a reset later in the game. So runners get very familiar with this level.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. It does make for a good time to just kind of chat about the game, though. Rogue Squadron is one of my favorite games. I grew up with it, and I, for a very long time, was admiring the scene from afar. Hod did a 2019 speedrun 100% at Midwest Speed Fest, and that was one of my favorite videos for the last, 7 years. And last year, I was watching SGDQ, checking out all the speedruns and having a really good time, and then I thought to myself, what am I waiting for? And
real?
that really was the only question that I had to ask myself before I was like, I can do this. I can run this game. So ever since then, I've been kind of grinding out this game, making one of my favorites into something that I can show to folks as like a, hey, check this out. You can really kind of squeeze as much time out of this game as you can get. So like I said, I was running since July. I was world record holder in the any percent category for about 2 weeks before, shout out to Jormungandr, the current world record holder, absolutely smacked me back down after a very brief like two week world record hold. Guy is insane. He's super good at this game. But it's been a lot of fun. This series is super important to me. It is, like I said, super technically impressive, kind of a spiritual sequel to Shadows of the Empire on the N64, the Hoth level at the beginning of that game. I didn't high-five that guy. I did give one of the guys a high-five. I like giving one of the stormtroopers in that area a little bump with my ship as a good luck high-five, just before we keep moving. But this game, for PC, not super special. N64, this stuff is mind-blowing. It is really good looking. If you compare the Hoth level of Shadows of the Empire to the Hoth level or any level of Rogue Squadron, it is miraculous that those games are on the same console. And then Rogue Squadron 2 is a launch title for the GameCube. And that game, I don't know how they did it. It's kind of funny that one of the best looking games on the GameCube, in my opinion, is a launch title for it. It's really crazy how much Factor 5 is just really good at taking the hardware they have access to and squeezing as much fidelity out of it as they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel similarly about, like, Star Fox Adventures. I still think that's one of the best-looking GameCube games ever, and it was, like, I think it was a launch title or very nearly a launch title.
Yeah.
Like, that game is great. It's one of my favorite 3D
Especially when they lean into the
Zeldas.
style like that. Yeah. Did you say what you
I said it's one of my favorite 3D Zeldas. I said what I said.
I'm sure a lot of people out there will agree with you. I've seen a lot of gameplay of it, and it is super unique in the Star Fox series, at least.
Yeah.
Just like, with this game stands out against Shadows of the Empire. Shadows of the Empire had a lot of ground-based levels. None of those here. It is all flying all the time. And what makes this an interesting speed game in that aspect is that the levels are pretty rigidly defined about what progresses them. This is a lot of like flying from trigger to trigger, taking out certain enemies, knowing what enemies you don't need to take out. And in cases like this, burning time until the next objective spawns. There is exactly one more enemy that's going to spawn in this mission, and then after that I just have to wait for the transports to reach their final area. So we're just kind of burning time. I'm shooting at things like this. This actually raises my accuracy. So if you want a gold medal, which is not important for any percent, but we're on Barkesh. Why not get a gold medal on it? We are stuck here anyway. Shooting at anything on the map, including friendlies or neutral buildings, will raise your accuracy. So it's just kind of making sure that we got the stats that we need. Something I like to do when I'm bored is be evil and messed up Luke Skywalker, and just what else is there to do? I'm just hanging out. I'm waiting for the game to end. I have one time I had somebody leave a comment on my PB video asking, "This is really cool. What's the purpose of that? What are you doing? Like, does that save time?" And it's like, no, I'm stuck here for another minute. I got nothing else to do.
It's funny because a lot of like, why do you do this? Questions are usually answered with it saves time or it's faster. Like, why do you run on like insert language here? It's faster. Why do you do this weird thing? It's faster. And then you have auto scroller levels where it's just like you're messing about and it's like, does that save time? No, not even a chance. I just need to be entertained.
I'm burning time because I need to occupy myself while I wait for that 519 to come in. This mission is fun. So Rogue Squadron is a very RNG heavy game to run. And this is the first level where that really comes into play. We are rescuing a ship called the Nona that has crashed on this planet, and there are 3 spots that it can spawn. Let's see, did we get the good RNG this time? I can already tell we didn't because I'm not seeing one of our allied A-wings shooting out of the fog. There are 3 spots that it can spawn. Like I said, that left spot I headed to first, that is the prime RNG spot. You want that. That can give you as low as 3 minutes and 29 seconds on this level. If it spawns here, which I'm really hoping it doesn't, and it did, this is the slowest one. So we're going to be losing about 10, 15 seconds just by virtue of it spawning here. This is the point where if you are at the highest level of speedrunning right now, you need to reset on this level to get the best RNG, because those 15 seconds are a critical 15 seconds. But For now, I don't really care. We're just here to rescue the people on this ship and kind of demonstrate where our next couple of objectives are going to come in. We're flying in the A-Wing right now, one of my personal favorite Star Wars ships, the bane of Rogue Squadron speedrunners. I did that on purpose to get my shields up the top. Don't worry about that. Luke is fine. He's going to be okay. He's done this before. But this ship, you can see I have two little cannons on the side, and you can see they're kind of moving themselves around. They have some serious auto-aim on them vertically to try to help you take out bad guys. It's not very helpful. They're trying to shoot at the center of the target, which is not necessarily center mass of the target, so they can kind of throw you off as they're trying to help, and it's very frustrating in the A-Wing specifically. There we go. So we are taking out these tanks that spawned and are trying to take out the Nona, and then next we have to take out 4 waves of 2 TIE bombers. Now, you will notice that I've got dialogue on. Most speedrunners at the higher level actually turn off the dialogue in this game. There are a couple of levels where it will actually wait for dialogue to finish playing before it finishes the level. But I actually asked the speedrunning community before I came on here today. I was like, do we want to have dialogue on just for the nostalgia? And it was very much in favor of like lean into the nostalgia. We're all here because we love this game. So we are leaving the voices on for it today.
I think that's awesome.
I've been talking a lot.
Yeah, no, like, make sure you're hydrating. Also, chat, make sure you're hydrating. Y'all have been coming in real strong with the community support for Flicky here, and, like, I'm just, like, I love this kind of stuff. I love when folks come through to, like, support the folks we have here on the show or on Hotfix in general. So y'all are
thank you, everybody.
Actually awesome for being here.
Yeah, my Twitch team, Team Fluffy, has been super supportive of me ever since I've been speedrunning this game, and in general, but just they always show out. At Fast Pace for Pride last year, which is where Amber and I first got familiar, they were really coming out strong for support of the charity for Fast Pace for Pride, and I was super proud of the community for that.
Yeah, that like absolutely threw us for a loop. It was like we did not expect the support that came out for that event, and just like we were floored. Like the staff and I were very floored. So like just incredible people. Who's playing this Flicky or bigger Flicky? Oh my goodness! I love
Do you get the bigger Flicky joke? Do you know? Have you heard about bigger Luke before?
I don't.
Oh my God! Let me tell you about this real quick, because I am a big Star Wars nerd. I'm a big Star Trek nerd. You can see on my helmet. You were about to talk about my little PNG tuber, weren't you?
I love your avatar.
I've got my. Thank you. I've got the little Starfleet emblem on the side because I'm also a huge Star Trek fan. I actually have the Next Generation communicator pin tattooed on my chest. And I am just a huge fan of both franchises. The bigger Luke theory is one of my favorite kind of jokes at the expense of theorizers on the internet. It is the theory that in the first Star Wars movie, there are actually 2 Luke Skywalkers based on the height of Han Solo. One is like an inch or 2 taller than the other one, because in certain shots, Mark Hamill's height looks a little inconsistent. So that's how you get Luke and bigger Luke.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to explain a quick little thing I'm doing here.
Yeah.
So we are actually going slow to go fast in this part. I am intentionally leaving one probe droid alive here because my wingmen are about to fly over the bridge and hopefully take him out. They are not always super consistent about it, but if they do take him out, I will be able to spawn over the city. They got him. Awesome. So I'll be able to spawn over the city when normally I would spawn over that clearing and have to fly all the way back to the city. But it's going to plot me right next to it here. So I'm already, all that flight time is just cut out, and we are straight into the objective here. There were a trio of bombers flying past there. You don't got to worry about those. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to like what in this game matters for your objective completion and what doesn't, and how that's a huge part, just the intimate knowledge of like what the game is asking of you. There's just a trio of TIE bombers that are going to keep flying around the city, not doing anything because they don't matter. They're not bombing anything. They're not important for the objectives. Awesome, and then I'm gonna hustle over this way to get another respawn manipulation. This ship is called the Speeder, And I would like to slap whoever called this thing the speeder. This is the second slowest ship in the game. So we are doing as many manipulations as we can to spawn where we want to spawn. I didn't quite hit the manipulation there. If I did, I'd spawn about where I'm flying now, and then I can kind of whip myself around. Saving as much flight time and making sure we spawn as close to our next objective as we can is a huge part of levels, specifically with the Snow Speeder and the Y-Wing, the two slowest ships in the game. So you'll see I'm going to do another thing where I go slow to go fast here. Goated runners, Yorm out there, would have already sniped these two bombers and be on to the next area. I do a backup where I follow this guy and then shoot him down here, and then fly over this next city to spawn over this next city. There we go. I definitely hit the spawn zone there. Again, saving flight time. So this level specifically, huge speedrunning like competition on this one. Dr. Yoshiatsu has an insane world record on this one. I have never been able to come close to it. And it's just really cool, especially because individual level world records are not done the same as any percent ones. Any percent, we're playing top to bottom. We don't have any upgrades to start. We have to collect them all as we go. If you're just running a singular level, you can run it with all of the upgrades already. So
neat.
We're going to do a trick here called a high trip, where I'm actually going to fly over this walker to trip it. And that lets me cut a really tight turn. But if you're doing this as just the IL, you actually already have advanced lasers, and it's actually faster to shoot the walker's head until it explodes than it is to trip it. And I'll demonstrate what that looks like later in the game, but that's just an example of how this game really is super sensitive to little adjustments to save seconds. But for now, we're really kind of just going to our next objective here, tripping one more walker, taking out the ties that are going to be our last trigger for this level, and then it's another case of waiting for the level to end. So I'm going to wrap this up, and then from here, we can kind of just relax, wait for the level to end itself.
Nice. Have you ever, like, considered... Like, I know you started submitting to marathons because we met through Fast Pace for Pride. Like, have you done other marathon appearances since, or, like, have considered doing that?
I've thought about it. I really do enjoy showing this game off. And I'm really glad that I'm specifically on Passion Project because, like I said, this has been one of my favorite games since I was a kid. And the speedrunning scene was very quiet for a while until I started running again. And I think... this is a much more fun game to run than people might realize.
Yeah.
There is such a huge variance in the top three right now. If I remember right, Yorm has something like 54, 52 as his world record. My PB is something like 55, 17. And then third place, Coco Jammin', who is currently the N64 world record holder. His PC run is like 59 minutes. And it's for different technical reasons, for all kinds of stuff. But before I started running, the top three weren't all under an hour. I think it was only the top two were under an hour. So we've already made a lot of progress in people like just bringing times down, having a friendly sense of competition. And I really want to continue to foster and engender that to make sure that, you know, this game still gets some fun eyes on and gets some more interest in it.
Yeah, I actually, so here's one thing I really love about, like, you know, origin stories like this, if you will, of like picking up a game. Like, I share a very similar sort of history with Sonic 3D Blast, where like basically only one or two people were running it, and like certainly not the like all emeralds category or anything like that. And then in 2018, when I quit running Sonic Adventure 2, I picked up Sonic 3D Blast more seriously and rerouted the all emeralds category, sucked a bunch of people into it, because like a lot of people, one thing I'll say is that like when you pick up a game that you really love and you show it off to a bunch of people, they will feel that. They will know that like, you know, they'll see you having fun and they want to have that fun with you. 3D Blast is a game that's generally critically panned. I love it, but I have like a Facebook post history on my old Facebook account of me just hating that game, hating that game's guts, and then I picked it up as a speed run, and then like my opinion 180'd on it, right? But people really who went from like not liking that game either to watching me have fun running and rerouting the game to be like, I want to help. So we ended up having like, you know, a full task of both categories made. all sorts of other things. Like, people picked up that game, and like the world record time started plummeting across all platforms it was on. And so, like, if you've ever, out there in the chat, if you've ever considered picking up a game as a speed run, please do it, because even having, like, it's like, oh, but no one else runs it, there's only, like, you know, there's some ancient runs on the leaderboard and that's about it. It's like, that's okay, pick it up anyways, and then, like,
exactly,
start
be the change you want to see.
Yeah, be the change you want to see. Talk to people about it. Show what you love about the game, whether it's on your own Twitch channel or a YouTube video, or you start submitting to marathons. Like, grassroots marathons love passion projects like this. Like, absolutely. You don't have to be a world record holder to, like, get people to run the game with you. So, like, it forms a community and camaraderie that just you can't get anywhere else, and I love that. So, like please, like, be like Flicky, pick up the game, and, you know, pick up the game that you love and just speedrun it. Put a timer on it, you're speedrunning. Like, it doesn't have to be good at the in the first run. It never will be good in the first run. It's like with art,
make it exist first and make it good later.
Yes, exactly. Like, I've had to use that philosophy a lot in my creative endeavors recently. It's like, if I don't get it to exist in the first place, I will be aching and agonizing over it not being perfect. And it's like, no. Make it exist in the first place. I will make it look better later.
Do you like this building that's floating off the ground over here?
Oh, there
you go. So we're on Liberation of Gerard 5 right now. This is not only an auto-scroller, this is an inconsistent auto-scroller. I have a major beef with this level because we are waiting on the Y-wings that we are defending to disable these yachts flying over the city. The best time you can get is 3 minutes, 49 seconds. The times you'll often get are 4 minutes, 4 seconds, and 4 minutes and 19 seconds, because you just kind of have to hope that they, like, nail all their shots and don't have to do additional laps. And if they do, you are along for the ride. So, again, like I was saying, big RNG in this game in a lot of different ways. And this is one of the major early game examples of it. But this used to be one of my favorite levels when I was a kid. Ooh, let me show something off real quick. Speaking of, all of the cutscenes in this game are in engine. And if I fly, did I miss him? Oh no, did I miss him? No, there he is. Hey, it's Wedge from the cutscene. Everybody say hi, Wedge.
Hi, Wedge.
He said he was on the other side of the planet. No, he was just over here. He was hanging out. All of the cutscenes are in engine, and it's very fun being able to kind of peel back how the game ticks. And you can see that in a couple of missions. None of the other ones I'll be able to show here because you have to go pretty far out of your way to see them. But that was actually a piece of documentation that I hadn't been documented until I started running the game and was just chatting with other runners and was like, hey, check this out. Did y'all know about this? And people were like, what?
Like, yeah, the actors load right over here.
Exactly. Because, like I said, I played this game a lot when I was a kid, and I discovered this stuff when I was younger. And again, if you're not writing it down, who else is gonna?
Yeah. Oh my god, the amount of discoveries that happen in speedrunning just from people's casual playthroughs. Like, it could be a non-speedrunner, and it's almost always a non-speedrunner, or like someone who specifically just likes looking for glitches or exploits or whatever, not even like a person who does full game runs, who finds this kind of stuff. And just, I love it. I absolutely love the documentation and like sense of like, it's like preserving a game in a different way, or preserving a game's history and legacy in a different way that, like, you know, speedrunning contributes to. So like there's
1000%.
I love speedrunning. It's so good.
Me too. It's been really fun to be involved in the speedrunning scene. All right, hang on. Let's see. Do I owe Gold Squadron drinks? $3.49. Let's go. That is the first $3.49 I've had on this level, and I'm not kidding you, like 2 months.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's great. All right, at the end of that mission, we recruited a TIE pilot from that TIE squadron that we were facing off against, and she has given us some very valuable intelligence to go on the assault. So the next couple of missions are going to be us on just actively going after Imperial facilities. I grabbed one of the most important upgrades in the run just then. That's going to enable us to do a really cool trick in the next level. But for right now, I'm just flying to get another respawn manipulation, very specifically, shoot you down there, and now I'm going to spawn right next to this base that we're going to attack. I'm holding my stick to the right, and as soon as I spawn again, I'm going to bonk into a walker and instantly kill it, just because there are 3 walkers and a couple of TIE fighters we need to kill to finish the mission. Bonk, one down.
Nice.
The TIE fighter ahead of me that you might have seen pulling up, we can just leave that guy to his devices. He will crash if we fly low enough. It's very funny. I like that he's just like a non-issue. If you're like, no, yeah, you can take care of yourself. It's okay. Okay, and then I've got 3 bombers to go. Don't be fancy here, Flicky. There we go. And then the last one is shy about spawning. You need to look away from its spawn zone for it to spawn. And what's my time here? I'm hoping for like a 115-ish. Let's see. 117, not bad at all. I'm happy with that. Okay, here's where we really start picking up. This level is a crash risk. I'm going to say that right now, and I have a plan for if this level crashes. We have enough time baked into our estimate to give this 2 shots. But you'll see why this game does not like this level very much in just a moment when I demonstrate our biggest visual trick of the run here, one of the 2 really big ones back to back. Fun fact, these scanners that we need to blow up on the way toward blowing up some factories, you don't actually need to blow them up. I like to blow up the first one for safety, but if you fly right, you can just stay outside of their range and they're not going to do anything. So that shield upgrade we picked up earlier nullifies your first hit of damage. You take no damage for your first shot or for your first collision if it's at the right angle. So this wall up here, nah, I don't feel like it. We're just going straight through it. So we're now straight in front of one of our 2 objectives we need to blow up. And I'm just going to leisurely take this out because most of the enemies that would be facing the direction that it's expecting me to come from have to turn around and start shooting at me. There we go. And now we're heading toward our next objective. I really like how we get to our next one here. You would think, okay, cool. So you clip through walls. You're just going to clip through another wall, right? Not quite. I'm going to definitely use a wall. But clipping might be a bit generous of a way to describe that.
Yeah, I think clipping is definitely a generous term for it.
But guess what? We were in the spawn zone for our next objective, and we're just flying straight toward it. And Luke, take it out. Done. Yeah, we crashed. Let's go.
Oh.
All of the runners, all of the Rogue Squadron runners in chat are probably throwing their hats up in the air and going like, yeah, we got a crash. Let's go. So I'm going to go ahead and boot our game back up with our high desktop background of all of my Twitch folks on a Star Trek ship. We're going to, hopefully this file picked up that I finished the level. Let's see.
We're going to hope the flag set,
didn't,
yes.
But it's okay because we have a backup. So we're going to use the backup. Because we did finish the level. That was the ending cutscene it crashed during. All right, here's the other big trick of the run. I'm going to clam up for a second and focus down on this.
All right.
And we got it. So the Y-Wing is a bomber, and you take damage from your own splash damage from your bombs. Rather than fly across the map to our objective, why not just fling ourselves up and out of the map toward our objective? So here we are at one of the 3 objectives we need to bomb in this mission. And I'm just going to go through a nice plotted out path here. Did I take that guy out? Yeah, okay. I saw a late laser come through, and it spooked me. I thought I might not have got him. But generally, this is a pretty tight path that I like to take through here. I average about 1:45 on this. I got it. Hang on. It's because I did the
1998.
Oh yeah, this is a game from 1998, and it is definitely not always super happy when things that it doesn't expect happens. I think we should have game audio back now. There we are. Awesome. Okay. Sick. So now that we're back into it and the game audio syncs up here. So now that first big trick is done, let's do it again. We need to get off to the next area, and I'm just gonna fling myself. And this time you get the serenade of Luke Skywalker screaming on the way. So
Oh my God.
It's great. I love it. It's one of my favorite things about playing with sounds on. And fun fact about this game, Luke Skywalker is voiced by the same guy who voices Porky Pig. I just find that super fun and interesting in this.
Wait, really?
So, yeah, right? I think it's Bob Bergen, if I'm remembering right. So I left one piece of that last objective alive. We're going to do a piece of tech here that's going to skip a 19-second long cutscene. Normally, after you finish your second of 3 objectives, a cutscene will play of Wedge getting shot down and captured. But I never actually finished that objective, so that last piece I blew up there was me finishing my quote-unquote second objective. let me just finish the third one. Oops, game doesn't have time to play the cutscene. The mission's over. So that is a clean 19 seconds saved just from the not having to worry about that. Favorite speed mission in the game? Right here, this is Wedge's train that he was captured on and is currently en route to a prison on Kessel. We need to stop the train. If you want to get a gold medal, you need to fly around the map and take out like all of the enemies, be very specific about your flying. But on any percent, we don't care. We just want the train stopped. Hey, train stopped. That's the mission.
That was close. Rogue Squadron, this is General Riken. Excellent work.
And there we have it. So when I say that saving time through turning off your dialogue is important, that mission is probably the biggest place where that shows up. It takes about an extra 5 seconds for that mission to wrap up with dialogue on. So that's very much a showcase thing. I like having the dialogue on for nostalgia's sake. But if you are running the game competitively and you want to have a higher level time, you do end up relying on little saves like that and making sure that your time is not kind of getting chewed up by the game having to wait for flags to trip. This mission is all about tripping flags. So we are on Kessel. We got some intel from Wedge about where the Empire is keeping prisoners. I blew up the shield generator that's protecting the different bases, and General Riken cannot get the commandos to start raiding the prison until I shoot down these 3 ties. And now they can. So every prison has a set of enemies that you need to take out. And if you don't take them out, it's never going to progress until you do that. So we prioritize kind of taking them out as fast as we can, knowing exactly what we need to take out. The next prison has some walkers we need to take out. The prison after that has 3 ties. The prison after that has 3 ties. Once those enemies are taken out, the shuttle doesn't really have a whole lot threatening it. There's some stormtroopers running around that I can take out if I want to. I don't really gotta, but I'm gonna just because it's fun, and I like when the little sprite guys explode and do a little bit crush scream. Going on over here to our second one. This is a big thing where a recent route change happened. Not a huge one in any way. It's just kind of like a little why do we do this? It's all about asking questions. There's an upgrade in here. That upgrade, I'm not taking it. That's actually going to slow us down later. That is going to give the A-Wings Seeker missiles. There's only one more mission with the A-Wing in the game, and we do not need Seekers for it on 90%. Seekers might be nice to help you take out enemies a little bit more autonomously if you're going for 100% and you need a kill count. But if you're on any percent, that's just an extra input to turn the targeting off. Because if you hit your torpedo button with Seekers equipped, the game has to get you into a targeting mode, and you have to double tap it. And it's just I just want to hit the button once, and then the torpedoes are out and we're done. There you go. 1 of 2 walkers taken out, and the flag has been tripped, so we're good there.
Someone in chat says Bit Crush Scream should be a band. I disagree. Bit Crush Scream should be an entire genre of music. That's where I'm at.
That right there, that's the first track of an album right there, what I just did. I do really like how this game does its on the ground people models. It's all sprites.
Yeah.
And you probably noticed while I was flying the snow speeder earlier, you can see the gunner in the back seat is just a little sprite of a pilot. I love it. It's so goofy.
Yeah, chat was talking about how you have basically a PNG or PNG tuber in your cockpit with you.
Yep. And there's one in every ship. I cannot see the one on the X-Wing from the front. That's tragic. There's different camera views for different things. And on a lot of them, you can see your pilot if you go to the front camera view. The A-Wing pilot gets a special uniform. It's cool. It's like if you ever watch Return of the Jedi, you can see A-Wing pilots get a neat little flight suit. All right, I'm flying over here because our next 3 ties are going to spawn this way, and that's going to be our next trigger on this mission. So I just need to kind of hang out here until they spawn. I desperately need a swig of water.
Yeah, we have our next runner saying, just wait for the Funky Kong screaming later. And I'm just for real though, Funky's noises in Mario Kart Wii are a choice that they made.
And you know what? More power to them. One of the best choices Nintendo has ever made, I think. It is so fun how Funky Kong is just so into it. All right, let's see. How quick can I take these guys out? Not bad. And then just like that, before the shuttle has even landed, they've deployed their commandos because the flag was tripped. Here's what their sprites look like. Just little guys in trench coats.
Just little guys.
Just little fellas. And now these guys have turned into explosion.gif and they're gone. Cool little thing here. You can hear them right now. This is one of the only missions you can see these guys. There's a trio of speeder bike scouts driving around. And I think it's really neat how there's just little flavor enemies like that in certain missions. They really cared with this game. You can tell. The background of this game is super fun. They actually had to create an entirely new compression algorithm to get the sound effects into the N64 cartridge.
Oh, yeah.
Because they had extremely high fidelity sound effects available to them that they were like, we're not gonna compromise on this. We're gonna have a lot of dialogue crammed into here. We're gonna have a lot of sound effects crammed in here. We'll have MIDI music for the music. It's fine. Because you can tell in Shadows of the Empire, they're using very bit-crushed music from the movies. In this game, they're just like, no, we're gonna rearrange it. That's gonna save us on resources. It's gonna be fine. Little choices like that, super impressive on a technical level. I keep on bringing it up because Factor 5 really knew what they were doing here.
Yeah, taking advantage of the hardware for like all those systems that ran on cartridges. Like, it's amazing what they were able to fit onto cartridges.
No, it's honestly insane. I can't imagine it now. This game, I think they developed it with the expansion pack in, the Nintendo 64 expansion pack.
Yeah.
And they realized as they were going to ship it, like, wait a minute, the expansion pack isn't super commercially available yet and like is still pretty new and is going to cost a lot. So rather than doing the choice that I think DK64 I think came bundled with it, if I remember right.
It did,
Rather than doing a choice like that where they increased the cost of it and bundled it, they locked in and they optimized the heck out of this game. And now you can play it with or without the expansion pack. And in fact, when you're speedrunning, if you're doing it on a 64, you want to play it without the expansion pack because the game lags a bit more at higher resolutions because it goes from a 320 window to a 640 resolution, or sorry, a 480 resolution window when you are playing with the expansion pack in. Visually super cool. For our case, not something we want. But again, just all the stories about how much they crammed into this N64 game. I will never not be impressed at the ingenuity that had to go into these older games, getting them working and kind of meeting what the console demanded of it to be.
Yeah, there were only 3 games that hard required or actually 2 that hard required, and then most of the game was inaccessible for Perfect Dark, but it was required in Japan. There were only 3 games, and it was DK64, which shipped with it, Majora's Mask, which I can't remember if that shipped with it, and then Perfect Dark, which it was funny that 2 out of 3 of these are rare games, and then the canceled N64 version of Dinosaur Planet that became Star Fox Adventures that we talked about earlier, that also was requiring the expansion pack before it was canned and put into the like Star Fox GameCube game. But there were a lot of ones that could be enhanced for sure. Like this was one of them, I think. Like you said,
it was, and it is super cool on a technical level. But for us, we're like, please don't perform any worse than you already do on N64. We need you to be consistent.
Yeah, all it does is it enables high res mode, which increases the resolution to 400 by 440, which sounds really funny. And then there were 2 other Star Wars games that it also enabled high res mode for, which were like Star Wars Episode 1 Racer and Star Wars Episode 1 Battle for Naboo.
Shout out to my Episode 1 Racer folks. And also, Battle for Naboo is by the same developers as Rogue Squadron, so we consider it a Rogue Squadron series game. And
neat.
The Discord server for Rogue Squadron runners actually includes... It's okay. We actually include Battle for Naboo in our Discord server and community. The current 100% world record holder for Rogue Squadron is actually an up-and-coming Battle for Naboo speedrunner also. Shout-outs to Nintendo 64. Really cool videos on all this new tech that's coming out of that scene. In fact, I owe him a lot for getting into this game. He just really made a lot of knowledge open and public and, again, documented, made sure that there was a place for new runners to find info and to get as much info as they needed before they get started with running this game and joining the scene.
Yeah, resources are so important. Like if y'all are part of a speedrun community and you're a person who likes to archive resources, please utilize either a wiki or utilize the provided resources and guides like speedrun.com pages for all of your stuff. Don't just hole it up in your Discord server. Please. There's so many people who would pick up a game. I'm one of these people who don't feel comfortable having to join a Discord server just to learn how to play the game. So like put your stuff in like, a wiki or, the speedrun.com page provides you a place to put all that stuff. Please do that.
Mm-hmm. It's very important to make sure that runners have a place to access this. You did not see me just get shot down. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nope, not at all. That didn't happen.
That was a very slow Talleyrand for me, but that's okay. Something about this game to note, this game is actually pretty hard in the later stages. And it is very common, specifically in 2 later levels that are coming up, for even top level runners to get shot down during them, just because there's so much coming at you in them. That one, that's the first time I've been shot down in that area because, we're doing this live on a show for showing off the run. So of course something that hasn't happened before has to happen.
Naturally.
It's especially in a couple of levels later, I will point out like where the high risk areas are. This is another auto scroller of a level. YouTuber EC Henry, if you're ever familiar with that guy, is a super cool Star Wars lore nerd who you can tell is a big fan of Rogue Squadron and made some really cool videos specifically about this mission recently. There is some flashy camera happening here. Camera does not like when you do high trips on this level. But it is a case of just kind of like making sure that those objectives that you are protecting don't die, but it's much more high pressure than that first auto scroller. Casually, a lot of players will cite this level as the hardest level in the game, and I can't blame them. Once you're speedrunning, you kind of understand what the game is asking of you a lot more and can really compartmentalize and make sure that you're meeting all of it. But when I was a kid, oh my God, I hated this level. This level was the worst. But again, here we go. I'm going to try and there we go. Okay, I skipped the tripping animation on that one. So you don't have to see the super flashy stuff. It's much worse on that one than it is on the first walker. So I wanted to make sure, let me hide that from y'all. That was a little piece of tech. Changing your camera as the walker is tripping actually skips the camera pullout. Sometimes it's really useful for positioning yourself. Most of the time, not really, but it can be really handy if it's, you have a super tight manipulation coming up. That's one of our 2 objectives already done. The other objective is just making sure that our little walkers make it to the final objective. I'm going to demonstrate real quick what I was talking about earlier. We picked up in that last mission one of the other most important upgrades in this game, which is advanced lasers. It makes our lasers do double damage. And you can actually blow up the walkers by shooting them in the head. Generally inadvisable. The game is ramping up enemy health as you go on. Kind of to discourage you from doing stuff like that, but there is a slight bit of downtime in this level that gives us an opportunity to show that off. But again, all of our lasers are doing double damage, which is one of the most important upgrades. If you miss that upgrade on Talleyrand, you are burning a lot of time just killing enemies that would take you half the time to kill with the upgrade. Something in this level that I never noticed. I'm 28 years old, and I have been playing this game for 26, 25 years of my life. And I never noticed a cute little piece of scenery on this map. You might have seen that there's like these little guard towers that are pointing out. There's one, I'm looking at it right now. I'll fly close to that later. I was watching Coco Jammin', one of the other top runners for Rogue Squadron 1 and 2, running this level. And I was like, wait a second. What is that at the top of the tower? I'd never noticed it before. We were talking about we like the sprites, like the little sprite of the pilot we're looking at in the back seat.
Yeah.
There's a little sprite of a scout trooper with binoculars in all of those little towers. So once I take out the last couple threats to the walkers here, I will get y'all a good look at those scout troopers. And I will ask y'all to say hi along with me because it's now a new tradition of mine. I have a knack for sentimental traditions while I'm doing runs. One of them is every time I'm on Fest, every time I pass those scout troopers, everybody say hi, scout trooper.
Oh my goodness. Hi, scout trooper. Oh my God, he's just a little guy.
He's just a little fella. I'm going to give you guys another look at him because he's got these big red binoculars in there. Give you a nice front-on look. Again, played this game for 25 years or so. Never noticed that. It is so fun.
I bet he's also like, whoa, what just flew through me? Whoa, that was weird.
Right? Did that guy like phase through me or something just then? He must be a speedrunner. That's crazy. So we are home free at this point. These are the slowest walkers in history. We're just waiting for them. 5 minutes, 28 seconds. That is how long this level will take you. If you don't let the lead walker get destroyed. If you let the lead walker get destroyed, you're losing like 15 seconds. It's really rough. It's bad. But again, one of the only levels that really depends on like just a solid, rigid waiting for an NPC on a path to get there. Nothing you can do to speed it up or to like get it going earlier.
Actually, if y'all are enjoying like watching this show, we have a whole ton of other Hotfix shows that you can catch up on. Via our YouTube at youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick, or you can also check out our upcoming schedule and all of our, upcoming shows at gdq.gg/Hotfix. We have a lot of really cool episodes that are just, they're like, I know around May 4th, we always have at least one show that likes to showcase Star Wars stuff. I'm sorry I'm doing this in February and not May.
It's okay. There is no such thing as a bad time for Star Wars. That's actually Dayman, one of the top Rogue Squadron 2 runners, I believe the current world record holder, had a really good run of Rogue Squadron 2 on Hotfix a year or two ago. One of my favorite ones to go back and watch. It was a really good time, and if you haven't seen the Rogue Squadron 2 Hotfix, I would recommend it. It's really fun.
Do you remember what show it was on by chance?
It was on a Star Wars special. I believe the host started with a J. I do not remember their name off the top of my head, unfortunately. Maybe.
Might have been Jiggy or Church and Sarge, but definitely, like, I'm positive it exists on the YouTube. And also, if y'all...
By the way...
go for it.
Church and Sarge, shout out to them because I also am a big fan of Red vs. Blue, and I noticed their name a while ago, and I was like, oh, when do I say, hey, nice username, that's neat.
Yeah, Church does a lot of our weekend specials. No, you're good. Church does a lot of our weekend specials. Jiggy does a lot of our weekend specials. Like, really great ways to bring communities together. You know what other good ways to bring communities together are? Other weekend specials that we have. I just want to let y'all know, because I have y'all here. GDQ Hotfix is going to be showcasing transgender speedrunners in our second annual International Transgender Day of Visibility celebration.
Let's go.
That's going to be on March 21st and the 22nd, so next month. Run submissions are open right now until March 1st, so there's not a lot of time left, because I famously always forget that February is 28 or 29 days, so you have just the weekend to get your submissions in. So if you are part of the transgender community, or want to check that out, you can use !TDOV in chat to learn more about that. And I just wanted to get that out, because like I am basically your last line of defense to let y'all know that that's happening, because I met Flicky through his support with Fast Pace for Pride as a Rogue Squadron speedrunner, and Fast Pace Events does a lot of like gender diverse supporting events, but like we do here as well for GDQ. And just like trans rights are human rights. That's all I gotta say.
Trans rights are human rights. I will say that with my whole chest.
Yeah, like absolutely. And like we just appreciate y'all's support in chat as well. Like, you're supporting the runner here, supporting our events through Hotfix. Like, y'all being here helps keep our shows running. And it's just, if you're ever interested in running for Hotfix, submit. I can't say it enough. Like, there's a whole slew of people who would love to have you on their shows. And there's some incredible showcases that we haven't seen before, or maybe we have, just not for a very long time, or by somebody else. And it's like, we just want to have y'all showcasing what you love to do here on the channel. So like, please, like, absolutely submit to Hotfix, submit to the Transgender Day of Visibility celebration, submit to me trying to learn English. Oh my God.
I will subscribe for that journey.
For real.
Okay, excellent. That was a good pass there. You see those bombers in the background? In the deep background, you can see some bombers. That is actually a really good sign of the pace that you have. What I did there was I actually started ignoring the train that we're escorting in this level and flew all the way over to the city waiting for some ties to spawn. There's one that you can take out before the cutscene starts if you are quick. And if you are really quick, you can actually take 2 out. I whiffed on that torpedo. That's rough. And so it's just making sure that we can take out enemies as early as they spawn. I'm going to ram myself into this guy just so I can get my missiles back. And I have one more upgrade to grab on this level, the second to last upgrade of the run. That will give us advanced bombs, which will be very important in our next level, which is there's a couple of levels that I would say Rogue Squadron runners generally dislike more than they like, and the next one is probably one of the most universally agreed on. This one is rough. So I will explain all about it when we get there. But for now, we're just going to keep on cleaning stuff up over here. Grab that upgrade. And then from here, all that's really left is there's a trio of TIE bombers we got to take out as the mission's wrapping up. I just set the world record for this one a while ago. It is a second difference. This is how tight some of these levels that are based on triggers are. It is just a matter of, getting yourself in position and taking things out as quickly as you can. So I am, once again, jamming my stick in one direction for as soon as I come out of this cutscene. I'm going to start targeting with my torpedoes now and try to take these guys out as quickly as I can, while also not ending the mission with the torpedo reticle up. That's how we get a really bad glitch. If you have your torpedo reticle up while a mission is ending, it bugs the game out, and you cannot use your bombs, your missiles, any of your secondary weapons until you restart the video game. So I don't know how I never noticed that when I was a kid playing this game, but as a speedrunner, it's one of your biggest opponents is making sure, okay, I do not have my torpedo reticle up, right? For this mission, we are hitting the flight ceiling as soon as possible because there are so many bombs and so many torpedoes trying to shoot us down. We want to minimize any opportunity for stuff to shoot us down and cost us time. On N64, the missile turrets are way more lethal than they are on PC, and even then on PC, they are still going to get you if you're not careful. Any N64 players, when they were kids, have probably already recognized that the missile turrets are way more gentle. It's probably related to frame rate. If I had to guess, generally the community has understood like the higher frame rate either means that the missiles have worse tracking or what have you. We're not entirely certain, but on N64, you are basically guaranteed a death on this level. So I'm actually don't think I've been shot once, which is a miracle in itself. Let me go ahead and real quick, I have one more of these. Okay, those were my first hits. Okay, that's a lot of hits in a row. I'm scared. It's okay.
Oh,
all right, we're fine. We're fine. It's okay. It's okay. I'm looping around to get this guy to get a respawn manipulation to spawn facing the capacitor. This is one of the most frustrating things to destroy in the entire video game. This is made up of a bunch of subcomponents that all have weird hitboxes. They're all spinning. They all have invisible walls between them. I could swear I shot that thing enough to blow it up, and it didn't blow up. And now I have to go ahead and do an extra loop around so that I don't slam into an invisible wall. So this is, again, probably the most frustrating thing for speedrunners in Rogue Squadron 1 to run against. Honestly, that was pretty clean. I'm pretty happy with that one. What is that, 140, 147? I will take that because a lot of runners will lose up to like 20 seconds just from dealing with the invisible walls and weird hitboxes on that thing. Jamming my stick in a direction to immediately take out some fighters here. This is the probably hardest level in the video game just in terms of like technical stuff. I never explained who we're dealing with here. This is Moff Seardan's revenge. Who is Moff Seardan? He's a bad guy we were introduced to on Fest. He is this sector's imperial governor and kind of the main bad guy of this game. So he has launched an attack on our storage facility here on this planet, on Thyphera. And we need to take out every enemy on the map, and then we will have a boss fight against the man himself. The only actual, like, proper boss fight in the game, funny enough, and this is not actually the last level. I will explain more about that on our next level, which is the last level. Believe it or not, we're already coming up on it. Here we are in the Valley of Death, as a lot of runners like to call it, where we have missile turrets shooting at us. You can hear I lost R2, so I'm not healing anymore. I'm probably going to get shot down in like 3 seconds. I'm amazed that I haven't been shot down yet. I might actually be fine. We do have to die one more time on this level to restock our missiles, but we like it to be on our terms. So I'm trying my best not to get shot down and to just clean up the last enemies on this side of the level. Nope, there we go. That's all right. Like I said, it's restocking us anyway. It's just not spawning me where I want to spawn and saving any time. So that's fine. Oh, it actually spawned me in a little bit of a convenient spot here. I'll take that. But there are 2 kinds of ties in this game, ones that fly on a circuit and ones that are programmed to come straight at you. There are 4 on this level that are programmed to come straight at you, and you'll see here's the 3rd. You want to take these guys out as quickly as possible because they will shoot you down if you're not careful. They are lethal. They get a bead on you, they're coming straight down at you, and they will just tear you to shreds if you're not careful. So I am focusing him down entirely here. We got him. That is our last chasing tie for this part of no, not for the game. There's one in the next level. But that is more or less home free for us from here. So let me go ahead, wrap this up, get these last couple of enemies down. And here's the man himself. Are you ready, Amber, for possibly the best death stream in video games?
Oh, I am so ready.
This guy is such a ham. I love him. All right, I have one more missile that should be able to take him out right here. Nope. There we go. I love it. His ship exploded like 5 seconds ago and he's still screaming, by the way. That's my favorite part about that. All right, are you ready for the most baffling story choice they could have possibly made in this game?
This
is a V-Wing.
Nonsense.
If you are not familiar, you're probably like, what the heck is a V-Wing? So we just skipped 8 years of the future. We are now no longer flying as Luke Skywalker. We are flying as Wedge Antilles in this level, who is like his protege, one of his closest wingmen and friends in the rebellion. This is an adaptation of a comic from the 90s. We are on Mon Calamari taking out world devastators that are destroying the cities. I have no idea, honestly, why they did this for the last mission. I have to imagine it's probably some kind of like corporate, like, let's have some synergy between our products. Very goofy. But I picked up an upgrade in the last mission that is one of the most important upgrades in this game. It is cluster seeker missiles for the V-Wing. If I hit B, this thing shoots out a cluster of 8 missiles that all target enemies. And it really trivializes taking enemies out in this part of the game. So critical for speedrunning. If you miss that upgrade in the last mission, you are not getting a competitive time. I want this tie that's chasing me to get a couple shots on me. Awesome. Because I am going to intentionally ram into a cliff up ahead to respawn and get a respawn manipulation. We're actually coming up on time soon enough, believe it or not. Time will be after I take out the last TIE fighters in this next area, and when a blue planet comes up on the screen after our medal that we get. So I will give you all a good heads up on that. But for right now, last city that we need to defend, TIE fighters coming down, clear them out. You can use lasers for the first couple. Don't really want to waste your clusters until you have to. I like to wait for one more to spawn up here. There we go. The clusters will take him out. TIE behind us doesn't matter. He's going to keep on harassing us and annoying us, but he's not actually important for the objective, so I don't care about him. He can keep on whining back there. Grab this last world devastator. Awesome. Shield generator on top destroyed. Blow up the legs. Yeet a couple of missiles out this way. And we're almost done here, folks. Here comes the last enemy or two of this level and of the game. One more spawning up ahead in just a second. And come on, buddy. There you go. Goodbye. All right, so that's the end of the level, not the end of time yet. It's going to come up in just a second once we get past this screen. And time.
GG. That was a lot of fun.
I think I had that was info dump central for me. I am amazed that I managed to talk more or less uninterrupted for an hour.
Oh yeah, like just thank you so much for that, because like I had full confidence you'd be able to sit there and yap about this game like no problem after seeing how you showcased this at Fast Pace for Pride back in November. That was so much fun.
I had a great time.
Yeah, no, like do you have any you've done plenty of shout outs to various runners and like the community as a whole, but do you have any other shout outs and any other closing words you'd like to say?
Sure. A big shout out to the folks from Knockout and Knockout VR who came to watch. A really super inclusive forum that I'm a part of that has been super supportive of me in doing these speed runs. If you're out there, a couple of you talked to personally before this. Big shout out to y'all watching either at home on your laptop, snuggled up on the couch with your partner. Appreciate y'all. And a big shout out to my stream community and to my wonderful wife, JJ, who has put up with me yelling about this 25, 30-year-old video game across the house from her for the last couple of months. She has been there for me this whole time while she has been supporting me and really hoping that we can take this run even further. That's all for me. I really am glad that you invited me on. I had a great time. If you are out there and you want to try speedrunning this game, the Star Wars Rogue Squadron speedrunning Discord is linked on the speedrun.com page for Rogue Squadron 1, 2, and 3. Please feel free to join up. We will help you get set up. We will tell you the strats. We want more eyes on this game. We want to keep breaking it. We want to keep bringing the time down. We have brought the world record time down by 3 minutes since I started running. That's huge. And we really want to see what other time we can squeeze out, and we need people for that. So if you have any questions about that, if you have any interest at all, we are so looking forward to meeting you on the Rogue Squadron Speedrun Discord.
Yeah, and thank you so much for doing this run. This is what Passion Project's all about. And thank you all in chat for being here. We're not done yet. We do have one more run. This is actually a really interesting showcase. I haven't had one of these in a long time. We're actually gonna have Soul of the Medley. 2 weeks ago, last episode, we showcased a 200cc mod for Mario Kart Wii, and that was really cool high-level movement. And I told y'all that this was happening. Soul of the Medley is here to showcase the vanilla game, so the with no mods or anything like that for it. But we are going to go through a tutorial to learn how to do high-level Mario Kart Wii movement in 4 of their favorite time trial tracks. I'm really looking forward to this. So if you've ever wanted to pick up a game, if you loved Mario Kart Wii growing up and you wanted to pick up speed running it, this is your time to learn. We're going to do some learning, but first we're going to have a quick break. So please go take care of yourselves, get a drink, get a snack, buckle up, because we're going to be... All right, everyone, welcome back to episode 61 of Passion Project. This is the best place on Twitch to show the world what you love most in speedrunning and gaming. My name is Amber Cyprin. I am joined by Soul of the Medley as we're going to be deep diving into speedrun movement and tech in Mario Kart Wii. We've got a really cool time trial showcase planned for you. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Soul of the Medley. How are you doing tonight? Thank you so much for putting this together and for being here.
I am doing incredible. Thank you so much for letting me on the show and to showcase one of my favorite games of all time.
I'm thrilled to have you here.
First of all, I'm going to explain why we're on the home menu, actually. So, I am on a modded Wii, or modded Wii U, modded virtual Wii. This is the main game, so obviously I actually have the Mario Kart Wii disc. Now, we do not usually do time trials on GDQ that's right. But we do not normally do time trials on the vanilla game. We normally do them on CTGP Revolution, which is short for Custom Track Grand Prix Revolution, made by Mr. Bean 35,000 VR and Chatters. Mr. Bean and Chatters have made an anti-cheat system as well as a ghost database that we use to showcase, to send ghosts to each other and are able to download world record ghosts. So, we are not going to be showcasing on CTGP Revolution because we have Mario Kart Wii Service Pack. Now, Mario Kart Wii Service Pack is basically a really cool mod that was made. I'm not sure exactly who made it because they kind of... I keep forgetting who makes some of these mods. There's a lot of mods for Mario Kart Wii. But this one has an input viewer to showcase. It usually is in this layout, the Wii Classic controller layout. I will not be using a Wii Classic controller. I will be using a Wii Remote and Nunchuck. Mm-hmm. But At the same time, this is also not what we're going to be launching. We're going to be launching into the Homebrew channel to launch specifically into a version of Mario Kart Wii Service Pack that has save states. As it is just a very helpful. So it's this POW stuff plus load state because it was made to practice a technique for online play called POW dodging. But it was Stebler. Yes, thank you, SCIW. I have the chat open as well.
Perfect. Yes.
So if people help me, they can help. So this is the service pack. I have 3 things here. We're going to start on Wario's Gold Mine. Now, the reason why I'm starting on Wario's Gold Mine is that it is probably the shortest track that I will be showcasing, and I will not be using Funky Kong to start. Now, normally the world record for this track, which I will showcase. Oh, my controllers have been a little. Hold on. I'm sorry about this. My controller seems to have died. So I will quickly change the batteries because I just changed them too. So I don't know why that happened. But I have 2 more batteries. I've had backups just in case this happens. Don't worry.
The joys of running on Wii, honestly. And it's the same thing with running on 1998 PC games. The joys of running on a era where controllers were played with batteries.
Yep.
Looking at you, 360.
Okay, work. I need to hit the controller, I think. Okay, why aren't you turning on? Hold on. I put in the backup batteries. Okay, there we go. It is now on.
All right.
So we're going to be using Bowser for this. Hold on. I'm shambling a little, but it's okay.
That's okay. We'd rather deal with it now than in the middle of a run.
PB attempt. Yes. So I'm going to be using Bowser specifically. Now, why would I be using Bowser? Well, it's actually specifically for a what's it called? A speedrun category on speedrun.com called Unlock Funky Kong %.
Okay.
So you have to do 4 time trial staff ghosts you have to unlock 4 expert staff ghosts in order to unlock Funky Kong. So what we do is we do this glitch. This is going to be a glitch run, as well as the Coconut Mall Ultra Shortcut, the Mushroom Gorge Ultra Shortcut, and then we do not Grumble Volcano. I wish we could do Grumble Volcano. We do Sinest Ghost Valley 2. But since we're just doing this track, this is the only time we'll be using Bowser specifically. So I'm going to quickly showcase my personal best here to start. So as you can see, we have a speedometer and a input viewer. Now, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be lining up the wheel at that little indent where it is, and then we're going to be doing what's known as a pipe bounce. This is called the hopless pipe bounce, and we're basically trying to make sure that when we go off of the pipe, we get sent through the bridge there, and we hit the wall to hit the checkpoint. And now I'm actually going to do another thing to showcase with this. We're going to turn on the checkpoints. So these are the checkpoints on the track. We're going into checkpoint, the first lap pay checkpoint, and we have to get back into that box on that box right there. So we're hitting the wall and going to it like that.
Oh, that's neat to be able to visualize that.
Yes. Not that. Yeah, we also have course KCLs. So obviously this is the course like collision.
Okay.
In specific. And I'm actually going to be showcasing that a lot more on a track later in the showcase. But for now, we will be showcasing on just this. All right. So now I'm going to hit change ghost because I like racing a lot of these tracks without a ghost. So we're going to hit solo time trials. And as you saw there is a ghost above my personal best. That is the current world record by Poyo. And Poyo does a really cool strat. It's not what I do. So we're going to line up. I'm going to press the home button. You see where the P2 thing is right here.
Yeah.
If you look at where Bowser's the wheel on the Flame Runner is, you'll see that little indent. We're going to do what's called a standstill mini turbo. So we're holding A and B at the same time while standstilling, and we're going into a mini turbo state, a sort of mini turbo state. Then we're going to hold right until we're about here. So now I'm trying to line up with that pipe in the background, if you can see it.
Yeah, the one that's like right behind Lakitu.
Yes, the one that is right behind Lakitu. And then we're going to mushroom, and while we're in the air, hold right and then drift. And we have made a pipe bounce. And that is
awesome.
literally everything you need to do on this glitch. And just show the lap did count. Now, there is another way to do this glitch that I know that I would like to show off sometimes. This is the shroomless glitch. You go off of this, and then you just, well, I messed it up there, but you basically still do the skip, but without a mushroom. And it's really difficult on specifically the Bowser bike. It's very easy on the Mach bike, or the Flame Runner, I should say. So now we're going to quickly do some attempts. There we go. And the reason why I'm hitting the wall is to specifically turn around faster.
Yeah, it looks like it pauses your momentum and also allows you to bounce in a direction that's like
So
more
this might
amicable.
not lap count. I'm actually not sure. I think I might have crossed the finish line backwards. So if you cross the finish line backwards, obviously the lap will not count. It did count, but I'm a little bit off of my alignment. Oh, hey, we got a 3 for 3 already. I wasn't expecting to get a 3 for 3 already. So my personal best is a 41 second time. So this will be about a 45. That's not terrible at all. For what I'm doing, I kind of lined up a little slowly for all 3 of these. And that is why it's just a 45 instead of a 41 or a 40. So now we're going to keep trying this for a little bit. I was going to give this one about 20 minutes because I know the glitches are a lot faster. So we're going to switch between glitch and no glitch tracks is what I'm planning. We're going to do the 2 bike tracks that I'm going to showcase and then the 2 karting tracks that I'm going to showcase.
I didn't even realize that there were tracks that actually wanted kart over bike.
So specifically, there's only one track that uses kart over bike, and that is Rainbow Road No Glitch, which we will be showcasing later.
Yep.
And the reason why is actually really funny because it's all in part of the shortcut at the very beginning of the lap. That is probably it's the track I am the best at. I am 8th American on that track. So I'm 8th in the entire continent of North America. And I'm about like 16th in the world, probably. On specifically the 3 lap. On the fast lap, I'm actually the American record holder and 2nd worldwide. But the fast lap for that track in specific, you have to start it about a minute and a half in. You have to start the lap, which makes it really, really rough to reset for, but also you have like plenty of downtime, but like that's also a double-edged sword in time trials, obviously, because you're usually just trying to go as fast as possible. So usually whenever I burn out on Rainbow Road, because you're trying to get the full start boost on every other track apart from this one, usually, on no glitch tracks, you try to get I usually just go for a fast lap, but obviously for this, I will just be resetting.
Right.
Yes. Also, what SCIW, Sparkling Image Car Wash, said is correct. If I turn my checkpoints on for a second, you can see this big old box right here. This is the finish line checkpoint. If I pass through that at all, the lap will not count.
Oh, okay.
So here, even though I'm respawning, this actually still counts the lap because I did not pass through key checkpoint, the finish line checkpoint. So this is just a little showcase. I wasn't expecting to get 33 so fast, but I was expecting to showcase that specifically.
I think it's so cool that that this tool exists to be able to like see checkpoints, to be able to like view the collision of the course.
Collision.
Yeah. The input viewer is also incredible, and I think is like really helpful for folks who want to learn as well.
Yes, it is. So we actually do record our time. So we have world record recordings, and we actually use a separate program for that. We usually just use the emulator, and there's a few different ways people record it. But what I use is a tool called the Mario Kart Wii. What's it called? Sorry, it's blanking on me. I use the. What's it called? Crap.
Like, there's definitely a name for it. I'm sure maybe
it's an
someone
automatic TT recorder.
Yeah.
The automatic TT recorder. So what it does is you record it in the emulator. It records on its own. And it also generates a input viewer to showcase your run, and you can add music, whatever music you want to your runs. It's really cool. Also, that did not lap count because I crossed backwards. So it's another 3 for 3, but it's also I didn't get a lap count. So unfortunate. We'll see if this lap counts, but I'm also going to turn off the checkpoints after this.
Yep.
Yes. So that did count. That would have been about like a 45, I think.
Oh, is it just called Auto TT Recorder?
Yeah, it's just called Auto TT Recorder because it automatically TT records your track for you.
Yeah. And that's created by Lucky Typhlosion, looking at their repository on GitHub right now.
Yes. So that is what I use to specifically record times that I'm very proud of. So if they're on my YouTube channel, there is a recording of my current personal best of Rainbow Road 3-lap, which obviously shows how proud I am. Well, why would you cross backwards? I crossed backwards because, oops. So I have my 3-lap recording on my YouTube channel. I usually, when I do not set a PB that I really want to super showcase, that much, I usually just what's it called? I just screen record it with my capture card.
Yeah.
Usually on SP, because the input viewer is always nice to have. But the other thing is, for some of the later tracks in this, they're a lot more complicated. So there's gonna be a lot more to explain than just me going straight into runs like I did here because of how short this track is. So we're doing, I guess I should explain a little bit more. We're doing a specific trick called a pipe bounce. Now, obviously, we're bouncing off of the lip of the pipe twice. If you haven't been noticing, we're hitting it twice. We're hitting it once on the way down, and then that keeps us in the air to hit the second one to make it go back up. And this is specifically called the hopless pipe bounce. This is a very easy strategy to do compared to what the world record does. And the world record also does a special thing at the end where they hit the finish line pole to line up for the next glitch faster. It's not going to be a 3 for 3 pipe bounce, but it will be a 3 for 3 glitch. So let's finish this run out and see what we get. This will be probably a 49, maybe a 50. Yeah, it's going to be a 50. So 5390, that's pretty good, I'd say. If I got that in a Mario Kart Wii 100% speedrun or a Unlock Funky Kong speedrun, I would be ecstatic.
Oh, for sure.
Also, I guess I should explain, Mario Kart Wii 100%, you have to, it's not, you don't truly 100% the game, but it's called the 100% category because you're doing everything in it. So we don't do the 3 stars in that category because they're kind of RNG dependent, depending on specific things that are kind of awkward to deal with, like the computer RNG. You don't want to get shocked, too many shocks, too many blue shells, that stuff. And it's also a 7-hour category that you start with this specific glitch because it's the hardest of the glitches that you do at the beginning of the run. Because you specifically want to unlock Funky Kong for that faster speed stat for the rest of the run. Of course, Funky Kong, while he has the speed, also, yes, that is correct. The game audio will kind of glitch out from time to time because of the instant menu transitions. But truthfully, it doesn't mean too much of a difference. Or I'm a hacker. It could be that. This Wii U is hacked, I must admit. The Nintendo ninjas will come for me now. Oh no.
Yeah, practice tools like this often, if you want to put them on console, do require like some amount of soft modding.
Yes.
But the fact that these exist at all and are accessible
and
to
they're
people is
also
incredible.
runnable on console. I guess
Yeah.
I should also showcase the save state functionality while I am here, because I will be using it a little bit more in the other tracks. So if I hit the save state button, and then I just attempt a pipe bounce and fail it, obviously. So we failed the pipe bounce. Let's just say that. I'm gonna hit the C button on my nunchuck, so this button right here, and we're just gonna pop right back there. And this is all done on console. So yes, I run this on the Wii U specifically because it's the one I own. I do not currently own a regular Wii. The mods in this community, the mods do keep this game alive very much. So the save state functionality in specifically Mario Kart Wii SP is a little bit different from what you could say an emulator save state. So for an emulator save state, it saves exactly like the time. So like the timer would stay the same. So like, hold on, I'll show it. If I just drive normally a little bit and then I hit a save state, watch the timer. It will not change when I go back. It'll keep going up. So that can mess with like cycle dependent things. So this is actually kind of difficult to practice specific cycle based strategies. However, it's still very useful overall compared to say just running on Dolphin on a very poor computer.
Yeah, exactly. Like it would definitely be better to if you can put it on your console, it would be much more accurate for sure.
Yes. So I do run on the Wii U, partially because I own a Wii U. It's my childhood Wii U that I got when I was, 10 now? 22? It's been a long time since the Wii U came out.
Oh, God.
Yep. Making people feel old. But it's actually probably one of the easiest consoles to mod, like apart from say the 3DS and the PSP. It's very, very simple now with a specific browser exploit. The Wii U internet browser has a very easy exploit that you can use to soft mod the Wii U, and in turn the virtual Wii, which is what the Wii U actually runs when running Wii games. It runs a virtual Wii inside of the Wii U. In case
so like you can definitely get, it's like, hey, I heard you like the Wii, so we put a Wii in your Wii U so you can use Wii. So I've already messed it up, but you get the point. We put a Wii in the Wii U.
We put a Wii in the Wii U. So I'm gonna be done with this track after a few more attempts because it's a glitch. The glitch is very, very fast to do. Yeah. Obviously, we're getting 15 seconds, 16-second laps. A couple of them were like 14 seconds. I'm not lap counting anymore, which is also probably a good sign to stop the track. Sometimes when you're trying to go as fast as possible, it is a little bit tricky to specifically... Well, now I'm getting the pipe bounces again. There was another 3-for-3 pipe bounce. So this would have been, if I had counted lap 1, this would have been around a 40, a very high 43. So we're going to be done with this track for now. But I'm going to quickly showcase the world record by Poyo. Now, Poyo is an incredible person in this track. He is the first person to ever get a 3-for-3 pipe bounce, and this was all the way back in 2012. We're gonna hit Watch Ghost, and we're just gonna watch because he does a completely different strategy to what I do. He's going to hop off of the pipe instead of doing the drift off of the pipe. So he's just gonna boing, And he's also barely hitting the checkpoint there at the end. And he's going to bounce off of this pole to set up for the glitch into laps 2 and 3 immediately faster. He's doing it so much faster than I am because I'm trying to play for more consistency usually. But Poyo is obviously going for the world records. So he is going for the specific hardest strategies. And that's how you set a 31.3.
That's absurd. That's really cool.
It is very awesome. All right, so now I'm going to hit quick game. And the reason why I'm quitting game is because I like using different Miis for different tracks. So this is my main Mii that I use for like when I play bikes. This is when I use karts, obviously. But this is when I use automatic. And we're going to be using the automatic drift style. So the automatic drift style is a very, very different beast compared to manual. So manual, you have the mini turbo. I guess this is actually a good thing. Automatic, you'll drift automatically when turning. So the B button doesn't really do much here. The B button here will not do much. When you turn, you won't slow down, but you won't be able to hop or use mini turbos. So that's the downside of using automatic drift. You don't get your mini turbos that you normally see in every world record of this game now. But on specifically DS Peach Gardens, it is one of the fastest strategies on the track. It is not the fastest anymore. It used to be the fastest, held by Carter, or more accurately, it would have been held by King Alex. King Alex and Carter have been going back and forth with this for a while. But there's a reason why I have 2 Carter Ghosts downloaded. Because Carter has specifically there's a little bit of a thing. I'm going to showcase the world record and the 2 times that I'm going to be the automatic on. So Carter uses automatic spear and Casey uses the Flame Runner, the Funky Kong Flame Runner combo that everyone knows and loves for this game. Oh, that's not right. There we go. So this is Carter's current PB on the leaderboards. It's the 59012 because of a specific pause buffering technique that Carter uses on the other ghosts. So on automatic, since we don't lose speed on wheelies, we don't lose speed while turning, we can turn in our wheelie. And the wheelie just saves so much time. I am spreading the automatic propaganda. So since we're turning without wheelies, we can go through that hedge maze without losing speed. And obviously Carter here is probably, I would argue Carter is the best automatic player overall. But there's a reason why automatic does not have the world record anymore. And it's a reason you might suspect if you've seen some tracks in Mario Kart history before, but you can see those chain chomps wandering around, right? Well, on lap 3 in specific, there is a massive problem. There is a chain chomp directly in the way of both of these ghosts that I'm watching. And what Casey does, and I will showcase that as well. I'll go through another run of lap 1. Casey does not go the same route that these guys go because he's not on automatic, so he has to do a different strategy. So if we're gonna watch, we're gonna see just how close it gets to the chain chomp right here. Look at how close that is. And it just ends up that while automatic spear is very fast, currently the Flame Runner is better overall, just because of how close it is overall.
He's the precision in these ghosts.
Yes, the precision in these ghosts is incredible. So I'm going to quickly restart the replay because it'll put me on Casey's time, the 158.890 right here. Yes, the Flame Runner can be used on automatic, obviously, but the reason why we don't use it is actually because of it is a very bad pace lock back. So we have that's the strat that they use on all 3 laps to avoid the chomp cycles. while we have to go through the hedge maze. And Carter has done a run of this track without the chain chomps before, and he has gotten, I believe it was a 0.7 or a 0.6. So a 158.7 or 0.6. I forget what exactly the time was. But that is incredible for a run of this magnitude, that even we're that close to it with that chain chomp in the way, trying to just eat us. Because we have to make sure we keep our pace slow enough to not get eaten by the chain chomp. And also, I'm going to quickly switch over to the 158.939 Ghost, because it does the final thing that I will be doing, but I will be doing it differently compared to what Carter does. So Carter does what's called an auto hop. What is an auto hop? You just said that automatic cannot hop. Well, if you hold left and then immediately flick right, or vice versa, you can do basically a pseudo hop in the air. And right here, it'll showcase. It's so hard to do consistently on certain controllers that you actually, it's easier to pause buffer it. But pause buffering, but per vote in the Mario Kart Wii Time Trials community, has been banned. So this time, while obviously an incredible time, does not count currently as Carter's personal best. And King Alex does have a very slightly faster time in a 0.8 with automatic, while using the automatic hop technique while not pause buffering, which is why this track, it's so close between these vehicles, and it's genuinely so impressive to watch all of them. You have to, it's kind of like a frame. So if for bikes, I'm going to start my time trial attempts now, by the way. It's kind of like a specific input called a TF input. So a TF input is going left to right, basically, and you get air time while doing it. And why it gives you airtime, I don't really know. Something about like very specific things. But obviously the hedge maze is a problem.
Yep.
Right now. So we're gonna be resetting quite a few times. I'm actually going to quickly do the thing I was going to talk about earlier, showcase the KCL, not overlay, because that's very bad on the eyes. We're going to quickly do a quick time trial with this on. It looks very weird. Trust me, I know.
Oh, yeah.
But it'll be easier to showcase the giant invisible walls on their track and how close we can actually get.
So this is the hedge maze here.
This is the hedge maze. And then obviously here is the grass patch. I went just right, so I got the auto hop there. I went left to right at right time. And then obviously the ending of the track is here. Now there's one other thing to talk about, and that is called an automatic chain. Now an automatic chain is a very specific wheelie tech that you can only do on automatic. So if you're watching, wheelies drop after 3 seconds. So I'm just gonna let this wheelie play out. It drops automatically, right? But if you hold left while in automatic, it drops manually, okay? So we're gonna be abusing that fact by, as soon as it drops, we're gonna be chaining it by doing this. And that is how we control the hedge maze easier. And yes, TF is short for Toad's Factory. It was first used on Toad's Factory, the lake shortcut, to do Shroomless. So the left-right input that we're doing for the, the flower hop is something that I kind of figured out from doing Toad's Factory Shroomless, learning Toad's Factory in general. So even like while doing automatic is very different from doing manual Flame Runner, it can still transfer over a few skills. Sorry about that. I had to drink some water.
No, you're good. Please take care of yourself.
A lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Take care of yourself through this showcase. Chat, you should be taking care of yourselves too.
Make sure to always keep drinking your water.
Absolutely.
So on this track, the chain chomps obviously won't be an issue for me. My personal best is a 2 minute time, just barely in the automatic top 10. So I am top 10 for the automatic drift type category because it's actually very rare that people actually run automatic drift. Because it's so different to what everyone's used to, Funky Kong Flame Runner, Funky Kong Spear, Daisy Mach Bike, which are the 3 main time trial combos. While we are using the Spear, Funky Kong Spear, a lot of people can do this track on manual. It's a very slightly different track layout. They do something like this. I'll just showcase it real quick. They do this. And they hop through all of these, and then they go through here to make sure they get the right angle. There's the chomp, by the way, and why we don't do that. So now we're just trying to get past the hedge maze, get past the flower hop on 3 laps. This one's a bit harder to do, I would say, than the 40-second time that we were showcasing on specifically Warriors Gold Mine. So also, I guess another thing is, pretty much every automatic user on this track uses the GameCube controller in specific. Why? Apparently, it's very easy to do automatic on it. However, I can't use a GameCube controller on a Wii U because there's no GameCube controller ports. So either I have to use the Wii Remote Nunchuck, which I do use, or the Wii Classic controller here. And what they do is they do this, like with a claw grip.
Oh.
So, and the claw is to hit the D-pad up button, which is your wheelie button.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But on GameCube, what they do is they do this. Is they have like their hands here.
Yeah, that's a different, and they're controlling with what, like their middle finger on the stick.
Either their middle finger or their
index.
Their index finger. They're doing left hand claw to specifically. This is what pretty much every GameCube controller user does. And then obviously there's the Wii wheel, but this track is very much not suited for the Wii wheel because you can't really do the taps easily on a Wii wheel.
Are there any Wii wheel users?
Or you can use the cow grip. There are a few Wii wheel users.
Interesting.
I do know of a few players that use the Wii wheel. There used to be a Warriors Gold Mine glitch. The former world record used to be with the Wii wheel by Ray. Ray uses the Wii wheel. He prefers it. And who are we to judge? He's got a world record with it. That is very hard to do. And specifically on Mushroom Gorge Glitch, it is the fastest to use the Wii wheel because of a specific strat called the cookie strat. Mm-hmm. That you basically just stay on the wall the whole race. And it's really cool. Unfortunately, I will not be showcasing it. Yes, Wii wheel does make all the tiny adjustments basically impossible, unfortunately.
Also, just want to...
So I keep missing the start boost, by the way.
Oh. I also just want to let folks know real quick, okay. If y'all were interested in picking up any of the mods that are being showcased for your own practice, or maybe you want to learn Mario Kart Wii speedrunning, if you take a look at the second link in the command that I just posted, you'll get the links to the speedrun.com leaderboard, Mario Kart Wii Auto TT Recorder, the CTGP Revolution mod, and the Service Pack mod as well. Everything that you need to get started with running this if you are enjoying the showcase or just want to check it out yourself. All those links are there for you.
Yes, so Wii Wheel has a very slightly larger input range. So basically, the input range is a big box, not like the thing here, not like the circle pad. So, and it goes up to 7/7 in either direction. So you can't do like really precise control inputs like you can in, say, Ocarina of Time with like ESS position, which is something I really wish we had in this game. I'm gonna be so real. I'm very spoiled when I do randomizer. I love playing randomizer, but when I'm very spoiled when I come back to this game because very specifically on these tracks, one the track in particular a little bit later, it's going to be the third track we're going to showcase. It's got a very precise alignment to make it work, and it's very difficult when you cannot ESS turn.
Yeah, I actually recently started picking up and falling into the Ocarina of Time randomizer hole.
I fell about 2 years ago now.
Like, actually, let me ask you.
I've been trying.
What got you into speedrunning? Like, was it randomizer or was it this? Or something else entirely?
It was actually Super Mario 64.
Oh, okay.
It was specifically on Disney XD, they did a speedrun show.
Oh.
It was like in 2018, and one of the runners they showcased was Cheese.
Okay.
And that got me into Mario 64. I bought the game on Wii U Virtual Console. I have a 21 and 16 star from like 6 years ago now.
So yeah, go on.
That's how it started.
Right.
Then I got into specifically Mario Kart Wii during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I got a disc. I did all that because I wanted to play online with a big content creator called Troy, TWD98.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great content creator. He makes a lot of content on this game, as well as the other Mario Kart games, but mostly Mario Kart Wii. Although it is more of the casual side compared to what we're talking about now.
Yeah, of course.
And then through Troy, I got to learn about another content creator who is much more into the time trial speed called Nmead, or Nick Mead, as some people will know him as. And Nick is much more into the time trials, and he actually helped me learn this track on manual speed back in like 2021 when I was just trying to learn manual spear because I wanted to learn a different strategy compared to the Flame Runner strategy. And then later on, I became really good at automatic and I wanted to learn it. So I just went into the automatic Discord server that we have. It's a very small Discord server. They've asked me to shout it out, so I will here. The automatic Discord server is where we basically talk all automatic drift, compared to the main Mario Kart Time Trials Discord server that we have, where we have specific track channels for people who need help on a specific track. We have a general time trial discussion, and a whole bunch of other stuff that's just incredible to showcase. What else?
I love
trying to think of what else.
You're good. No worries. I love hearing like the "how did we get here" story from everyone I have on the show.
Yes.
Like,
so that's how I got into time trialing. Yeah. But I didn't get like fully into a specific grind set for time trialing until about 2023. So it's been about 3 years since I've basically been a full-time time trialer. And that was back when Mario Kart Wii SP didn't even exist. So we didn't even have all the resources we have now.
Yeah.
To like make this so much nicer.
Someone in chat earlier, when you were showing the features that as the service pack has, they were like, wow, I didn't realize it had developed so much, which tells me that it's very recent.
This is actually a specific branch of Mario Kart Wii SP. It's not the main branch. The main branch was the one on the Wii home channel at the beginning that I was showcasing. Yeah. This is specifically a branch called the POW stuff. Because, well, I guess I could showcase it real quick. You can, where is it here? It's in one of these settings things. Not there. Bindings, Y button. So the screenshot doesn't matter because I cannot screenshot, but I believe it saves to your SD card, which is how you do it. But you can change it to be an item wheel, and that gives you an item cycle in time trials. So I'm going to press D-pad down here, and then suddenly I have a single mushroom. Suddenly I have a golden mushroom, a star, mega, bullet bill, banana, fake item box, green shell, bomb, thundercloud, the fun item. Everyone loves the thundercloud, right? If you don't know what this does, well, here we go. And so it was used for specifically POW dodging. I don't know why the POW isn't here. I thought it was here, but specifically, it's a great way to practice for shortcuts on stuff like for GP mode or stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been using this specific version actually a lot to practice for my 100% runs, which is another thing I love in this game. Mario Kart Wii 100% is a very long category. It's a 7-hour long category. The world record is just under 7 hours. And you have to beat every CC in the game, as well as do a time trial on every course. So, very specifically, there's some shortcuts that you can do a little bit easier with a star. I found that you can even do the Warrior's Gold Mine glitch with a star by just driving and hopping. I found that out by myself. Yes, POW dodging is why this was originally made. It's to specifically keep a powerful item. I've done it in my current 100% PB, which is linked on my speedrun.com profile, but it's unlisted on YouTube. I do get a POW dodge on specifically 100cc Bowser's Castle 3, which was very funny because I've never done a POW dodge before. And it's so magical what sometimes you can just do sometimes.
I didn't realize just how much I knew the modding scene, for example, for this game was huge, but I didn't realize that speedrun tools available were like quite so expansive at this point.
Yeah, it's been a fairly recent development.
Yeah.
The save states first got used to eventually set a world record by Flam Bam Bam. So Flam Bam Bam, it's a great name first of all, but he used it to specifically learn a new tech on Mushroom Gorge no glitch. It's called Outside Drift Momentum. So Outside Drift Momentum, ODM for short, is a tech where you can gain speed past the speed cap going over mushrooms, or specifically by going sideways. So technically going sideways is the fastest way of moving in this game. But the reason why it's so fast on Mushroom Gorge specifically is because of the amount of air you can get off of the mushrooms. So Flam Bam used the Mario Kart Wii Service Pack save states, the first save state mod, that I didn't launch because it crashes if you try to set another save state. Fun fact. This one can save as many save states as I need, thankfully. But the save state in specific for there's like 3 main points where you do practice. The cave is so difficult for a lot of people learning it that it's easier to just make a save state and then throw runs at it, the cave over and over and over again.
Yeah, practicing a specific segment rather than worrying about having to do the entire track up till then. It helps save time, especially if you can only play in short bursts.
Yes. ODM is a very difficult and inconsistent tech. So Service Pack was massively helpful in helping Flam set the world record on Mushroom Gorge the first time. And now the entire top 10 uses Outside Drift Momentum with the shooting star, which is insane.
That is actually really cool.
Before that, it was considered, before ODM was used, it was considered probably one of the strongest world records. That time is at least 7 seconds behind the current world record. That's how much ODM saves.
Wow. And I know for some folks, like 7 seconds, like people who aren't used to time trialing in any racing game or any game, it might be like, oh, 7 seconds doesn't sound like a whole lot. Like, no. 7 seconds is massive.
It's massive.
Yeah.
I would consider it it's probably the biggest world record cut in a year in the game's history. And that includes like 2008.
Yeah. Like
the very beginning of Mario Kart time trials.
Yeah, like 7 seconds may not be the biggest in a like full game run, might not be like huge in the grand scheme of things there, but in individual levels, which are like upwards of like a minute or less or 3 minutes, depending on like, the game or the track.
The maximum in this game is 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay.
For the longest no glitch track.
That is genuinely wild. So when everything is sub 3 minutes, like each individual level, like 7 seconds is
They're
huge.
very hyper optimized.
Yeah.
Compared to, say, the 32 track run of this game, which did just get beaten, by the way.
Nice.
Shoutouts Luke GB. Luke, great bit. Luke. He is probably the current best player in the world who is currently active.
Mm-hmm.
He recently did a full leaderboard sweep of speedrun.com and is currently grinding for the Toad's Factory world record.
That is really cool.
Yeah, here's the thing for Mushroom Gorge specifically. It was like a 140 and nobody thought a 139 was remotely possible. Now it's under it's like a 133.
Ooh.
So probably even more than 7 seconds, but in like a year, it was like 7 seconds. It's been like a year since then. So I guess another subtle thing while I'm stuck in resets is sometimes I'm letting go of A during the mushroom. Now that's actually a really recent discovery called A-Tech in specific, kind of gotten off of the Mario Kart Double Dash name for the strategy also known as A-Tech. But what it does here is different compared to what it does in Double Dash. For specifically on automatic, it lets you like turn just very slightly tighter. And sometimes that helps a lot on very specifically DS Yoshi Falls. DS Yoshi Falls is a track that manual for a long time and still is the best strategy. But in the task world, it very recently switched from manual spear to automatic spear because of A-Tech. And I've learned it on Yoshi Falls, so I've been trying to get a better time on Yoshi Falls. I have a sub 1 minute time with it, which is only 6 people have ever done that on automatic in specific, which is really cool. But there's still a long way for me to go to learn the track fully, because it is also probably one of the hardest tracks to do consistently in the entire game.
Yeah, it's that actually seems to answer the question in chat of, do you have any new tech you're working on? It sounds like Yoshi Falls is your current project?
No, currently my current it's one of my few projects.
Right.
This is one of my projects. I have about 3 to 4 tracks I have projects. It's this track in particular, DS Peach Gardens. I want to get the sub 2 minute time because that's a big sub, right? And I'm so close.
Yeah.
I have a 0.2.
Oh.
I have a 2 minute 0.2 time. So obviously this run, while it's not great, I'm going to try. Okay, well now I'm not going to try and finish it. But what I'm trying to say is specifically, it does work with manual as well, but it saves more time on Yoshi Falls with automatic. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
But I'm so close to the sub on this track in specific that after my current ambitions on another track that we'll see later, it's probably going to be my next main focus for a bit. Or in case like I need a break from my main focus track,
Yeah.
I will go to that. And obviously, DS Yoshi Falls is another one of my tracks that I want to improve, but it's very low on the ladder compared to the other three.
Okay. Also, this emote of like a fish being fed food with a spoon is
that is. So specifically, I promoted this in a server that is full of. It's basically a big melee sub-only melee server.
Yeah.
For a specific melee streamer, and that's like one of their most popular emotes, and they love that fish.
It's just I keep looking at it and I'm like, this is still like delightful. Like
it's such a great emote.
Fish are goofy goobers. And it's just like, we're eating good tonight is basically what that emote
One of my
says.
emotes actually is very much an inside joke between me and a friend, because we found this GIF on Discord and we just laughed at it for a solid 10 minutes in VC. And I decided to make it an emote.
Oh my god.
And so we affectionately have dubbed it No Mappa Floor, because it's the Kirby character Magalore laying face down on the ground. And it says the wrong name. Yes, shout outs to my friend Jerry. We may have died in VC when we found that GIF. Yes, that emote there is another good one. It is specifically of Flam hitting the beanstalk on Mushroom Gorge and still getting the world record.
Oh, that's great.
Because of specifically how much time it saved overall, you could hit the beanstalk at that time and still get the world record.
Like I know you quite enjoy this this track. Your submission to Hotfix in a general sense was originally Rainbow Road time trial attempts before
Yes,
we retooled it
was.
into a 4-track tutorial and showcase.
Yes, it is.
So
I'm going to be showcasing Rainbow Road last.
yeah, is that your current favorite track right now?
Because that is my current favorite and best track in the game overall.
Yeah.
I'd consider it one of the hardest tracks to master, and usually in my attempts, which is why I submitted just that originally, was because sometimes I can't get out of lap 1. It's so hard sometimes to just finish a lap. So even if I finish a lap today on Rainbow Road, I will be insanely proud and very excited. So there I hit a little bit of off-road. Doesn't really matter. We're just trying to complete a run first. Oh, can't hit a wall though. But specifically on Rainbow Road, I'll explain this a little now, but we'll get more into it once we get into, say, the track itself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got a very specific, there's 3 very specific like points where you can fail easily. And the last one is arguably the hardest because it is a very precise hop to do a path switch. We're going to switch paths on Rainbow Road, and you're going to have to look forward to that. Oop. So obviously I'm kind of a little off on my wheelie timings here. So obviously we're dropping a lot, which is not something you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
But see, sometimes you can drop the wheelie and you can just still continue. I might still get like a 0.6, which is not terrible. 0.7, not terrible. But like, even then, I wouldn't be able to PB with that.
Right.
So we're just going to try and finish a run real quick, and then I'll showcase my personal best before we hit the break.
Okay,
How's that sound?
sounds good to me. And chat, while y'all are simmering over there, I've got a question for y'all. If you are
Ooh, that was a very, sorry, that was a very awkward auto hop.
You're good. It did look a little strange there. But to chat,
Yeah,
like,
sometimes you can get very funky air. No worries, you can go ahead. I'm just trying to, you can get some very funky air with Funky Kong.
Oh my god. I remember.
I didn't even mean to the joke.
I remember my partner learning 32 tracks glitchless, and just like all I could hear was Funky across the room screaming.
Yep. So my personal best is a 287. This is 10th automatic. So this is the 10th best automatic. I am the 10th best automatic player in the world on this track. So we're going to quickly watch it, and then we're going to cut to a break.
Yeah, we'll take our wellness break right after this.
So, and I guess the other thing is, we have the me names because we have a ghost database, right? Yeah. But there isn't a way to sort automatic and manual yet.
Okay.
Unfortunately. So in order to get it, the automatic players have come up with a solution, and that is to put auto in your name.
Okay.
So auto, so you can search it up easily instead of just having to like scroll through all that. So obviously this is my personal best. I did the hedge maze great. I did the auto hop. If you're looking at the speedometer, you'll see that we're kind of fluctuating between 85 and 97, 98.44 here. So we want to try and stay around the 94 range whenever we chain the wheelie. I usually struggle with that because of how precise the timing is. It's called a full chain if you chain it with 94 on the like speedometer, and it's called a half chain or a drop if you get lower than that. So we're trying to just chain wheelie speed over and over and over again to make sure that we stay at top speed as long as possible. So obviously I'm doing kind of a weird tech near the end here where I'm trying to clip off of the last stair because that actually pushes you forward to gain a little more
speed.
That's what the world records and what Carter did in the showcase earlier. However, this is just such a very, very, very tight run that it's hard for me to do that consistently. So obviously we get the auto hop 3 for 3. It's very difficult to do that consistently because of how fast the left right has to be. It's basically a frame perfect trick. And then here I do a wheelie cancel right there at the beginning so that my wheelie runs out right before this turn ends. And that's my current personal best on DS Yoshi. Not DS Yoshi Falls, DS Peach Gardens.
Yeah.
All right. If you're okay, we can take a quick break.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Chat, we are going to take our quick wellness break. I just want to remind y'all that you should be hydrating, taking care of yourselves, and also you can check out all of our past episodes over on our YouTube, over at youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick, or if you're interested in checking out the mods for what we're showcasing here tonight, or even checking out the Rogue Squadron speedrun.com leaderboard. If you enjoyed Flicky's run earlier, you can use the !passion command in chat at all times. Grab the second link there that says that ends in / links, and that'll give you everything that you want as well. All right, everyone, welcome back. We have 2 more tracks to showcase with y'all tonight. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to our guest here, Solo the Medley, who's been running us through some really cool mods on that assist with learning time trials and learning the inner workings of Mario Kart Wii. So go ahead and take it away. What's next for us?
So next is actually a fun glitch that was only discovered to be possible about a year ago. Almost to the date, actually. About 2 weeks ago, it was discovered to be possible. So we're going to be using a very strange cart. We're going to be using Baby Daisy on the Tiny type. Now, you might be wondering, how do you do a tree clip on a cart? Well, specifically, we're going to watch SPG Phoenix here, and we're going to have him race this specific ghost, because it is an alignment ghost, so we're going to be explaining how it works and why it does this. So right at the beginning here, we're actually going to turn around. Also, hold on, let me quickly change something, because this is actually showing a date instead of a time. I wanted to show time. That's not right. That's my speedometer. Time trials, tag visibility. Sorry, not that. Sorry. I'm a little in shambles. I thought that was on the right.
That's okay.
There we go.
There we go. Menuing is hard.
Now it's on time. So we're going to immediately turn around and go into this alignment. And we're going to do a very precise alignment, back up, frame perfect shroom, clip off of the tree, We're seeing cars fly, and we're going to go back into this little cave to hit the key checkpoint. That is the lap 1 checkpoint. So we're going backwards into the lap. So let me turn on checkpoints now. Quickly here. So that big red box there is the finish line checkpoint box. So after the clip, we're going to go into that box to load into the next lap. And then we're going to just drive forward and hit the last key checkpoint, which is coming up right here, that big yellow box. That's the last key checkpoint. And then the lap will count for the next lap. So you have to go into the little hut area, the little tunnel area, in order for this glitch to work.
Okay.
And it's done 3 for 3. I do it 3 for 3 as well. I currently have the fast lap world record, and I'm second worldwide with a 1:12. And I'm going to be trying to beat that time here. So also another thing, the reason why we race the ghost in specific, we race what's called an alignment ghost. So we have a very specific alignment. It's this ghost here made by Blunard, who is a French kart main and tasser. There are 3 different ghosts. This one is the very easy version that I would recommend you learn for a 2 for 3. This is the 3 for 3 version that I've been using. I will race both of these ghosts, even though obviously you don't normally get to do that. So I'm going to be showcasing both forms of the glitch today. Hopefully. I need to turn off the checkpoints in a second as well. I'll do that after the first reset. So we're going to just quickly line up with the thing. And we're looking for a very specific alignment on the Mario Kart sign. That's it. I was just a little off. Okay. Let me quickly turn off the checkpoints. So there's a very specific alignment that I'm looking for on the Mario Kart sign. It's when the R is fully visible and the A is barely visible on the top right. You might not be able to see it because of my capture card, but it is what I'm looking for. The R has to be fully visible and the I has to be just on screen for me. So this is the reason why I was complaining about ESS turns in specific.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Because it's very specific and you can't really turn in the way that I'm hoping you can with like a 1 input here. So obviously we're going to quickly realign up with this. I'm a little bit off.
This looks like one of those.
There we go. That's 1 clip.
Yeah, this looks like one of those skips that when you first learn it, it's going to take forever to get it the first time. And then when you do, you pop off.
Truthfully, that was exactly what happened. Because I was actually the first person to pull this off in a real-time run for a fast lap. So there are 2 different ways to play this game. There's a fast lap and a 3 lap, obviously.
Yep.
The fast laps are obviously not that played compared to, say, a 3 lap. Also, I'm going to quickly save state here to try and showcase this glitch, this setup, because this setup is different because you do not back up while doing it. So you just go off of the curb instead of just doing the backup that I did. And it's a little bit different, but it's way easier than the backup because it takes out a frame-perfect mushroom that I did on that first glitch. So I'm trying to be very precise with this alignment just to showcase it, and then we'll go back to attempts.
Oh, this looks so fiddly.
It is. Nope. I think I was a little too far to the right there. But as you can see, we normally don't race 2 ghosts because 2 ghosts is not being... Even though CTGP supports racing up to 4 ghosts, we don't allow that for time trials usually, because obviously it's not in the vanilla game.
Right.
So we try to keep time trials as vanilla as possible. It's a little bit off there. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get in the very perfect alignment, very perfect angle. This looks right, maybe? I got the air there. So you get the air off of the curb and then you just fly into the like weird out of bounds area that's not really out of bounds. That's actually where, if you're playing GP mode, if you get fourth, if you don't like win it, get a medal in a GP, that's where the characters will be. Like on this hill. There's no collision there up there still. They just appear on the hill. So there I got into the alignment correctly, but I timed the shroom just a little bit wrong. And what I'm trying to do is I'm backing up while holding right. So when you release a standstill mini turbo, you have about a second to hold any direction you want. So right here, I'm gonna let go of the standstill mini turbo, start holding right in that time frame, and then it will start backing up about a second after I let go. And then I just need to time the frame perfect mushroom. See, I did it way too early there because I was trying to talk myself through it, but...
Oh, the strats for this track are like what reminds me that time trialers are a type of person I am not, and that I heavily respect or highly respect, because it's like the amount of patience, the amount of patience and the amount of resets.
The amount of patience you have to do for specifically time trials is one that is very difficult to like comprehend if you're not used to speedrunning like this short of a category.
Yeah, like there we go. I am considered a patient person. I am not this patient, so more props to you and the rest of the time trial community. Holy buckets.
Yep. This is what happens when you let a baby drive.
For real!
So we're gonna go back to the full 3-for-3 alignment that I'm used to, because I usually go only for this alignment because I play this for 3-lap now. I currently hold the Kart fast lap world record, which is a 10.7, I think. And I'm surprised that, because I set that about like 2 weeks after the glitch got discovered, and it hasn't been improved since. I felt like Phoenix, the current Kart world record holder for 3-lap, could have improved it, but he chose to not improve it. So yes, this is the reset simulator.
Yeah, there are some things where you take a look at it and it's like, nope, I can't do it right now. Not right now. I will come back later.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens to me on my main track, which is why I have multiple tracks now.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of my multiple tracks. But obviously, Rainbow Road, yes. I will not be showcasing the spear on Rainbow Road, unfortunately, because I do not use the spear on Rainbow Road. I'm not good at the spear on Rainbow Road. But the spear is very good on Rainbow Road still. It's just not that great.
Yeah.
Compared to the top vehicles.
Yeah, there will be a Rainbow Road run after this. We just got into this track, which is by far the fiddliest thing I have ever seen in a kart racer. Oh my god.
All right, I'm in the alignment. I shroomed a little too late.
Oh.
So why specifically... I guess I could try and showcase a fast lap as well, because this is a fairly easy setup. So for a fast lap, you do it on lap 2, obviously.
Yes.
But since you can't do the glitch, you have to drive forward. And this is actually what we used to do for the world record on 3-lap as well. We used to have to beat the chain chomp here. I don't think I'm gonna beat it, but obviously right there, that was the issue. For the original strategy, which was actually using a vehicle called the Off-Roader, which is a huge, clunky, slow vehicle, but it can clip.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. It can do the clip too. And it was what we originally discovered the glitch on.
Okay.
So I didn't make the glitch there, but if I had, I would back up into the finish line and then use both of my mushrooms to take the first shortcut. And then we would see if we can get like a good fast lap. But we're going to go back to 3-lap because while the resets are not that tedious, there's another tedious lap that I'm actually even better at now, I would consider. and that is the Rainbow Road Fast Lap.
Oh yeah.
Even though I will not be I could showcase that actually, because I would just showcase like the PB, my PB. It is less than 0.1 off of the Fast Lap world record and is the current American record, which is insanely crazy to think about because I set it about a week ago, which came kind of out of nowhere. I just started improving my Fast Lap time from a 47.4 to a 47.0. And we're close to the sub on that now too, so it's another sub I'm gonna go for. And the problem is, it takes a minute and a half to start the lap.
Yeah.
Because of specifically a cycle. So, and I guess the other reason is the Tiny Titan here, it can drift in off-road. Here's a fun fact. So if you're like, if you mess up a drift or something, you can just drift in the off-road. Doesn't matter. There's a few vehicles like that in this game, but this is probably the best kart to do it. But the reason why we use the Tiny Titan here in specific is because of its clipping property. I say it like it's an actual thing that Nintendo intended, but no.
It's not, but it just happens to work that way.
It gets what's called pitch, I believe, because you know how a bike can wheelie.
Yeah.
Well, a kart can't wheelie. The karts get the orange mini turbo, the super mini turbo. But if you can still get that pitch, you can get clips. That's what we found out. Okay, well, I used the Flame Flyer on Rainbow Road for the chatter in Twitch chat. Join us on GDQ the next time. Hopefully, there will be a next time. I'm enjoying this a lot.
Yeah.
It's been a great talking through all of these courses that I've loved to learn. I've loved learning over the course of 5-6 years now.
How you been doing that for this long?
I'm definitely not the longest.
No.
I know there's some players who have been playing since 2008.
Yeah, there's like some really, really veteran players, but like still 5 or 6 years is like the longest I've ever poured into a speed game, like as a primary speed game at all, has been like 7 years. So it's just like...
Well, I think the reason why is also time trials are that fun to the specific subset of people who like time trials. You will never stop time trialing. It's something that will be ingrained into your DNA. It feels
like I feel like time trialers and ILers are like a very specific type of runner, you know?
Yes, and that's specifically not even for like just this Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
That's for every Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That's for every racer. Like Trackmania, you have that same thing. Oh, that clipped. See, I wasn't expecting the clip, so I was about to reset. Sometimes you just pause out of habit because you think you're going to reset. So that was actually a very slow clip because of how long it took me to align, right? So we're just trying to drive. I'm going to see if I can get a 3 for 3 on this. It's a bit more difficult because of the frame perfect shroom. But we're going to see. I'm going to give myself until about 120 on the timer because Rainbow Road will be... I'm trying to give myself 20 minutes on glitches and 40 minutes on no glitch tracks.
Yeah.
I felt like that was the fair balance.
I think that makes sense because the no glitch tracks like have a lot more meat to them and are longer.
They're also longer.
Yeah.
At least a minute.
Yeah.
If I PB here, it will probably be a 111 unless I get 3 very fast glitches. And technically it wouldn't count because I'm not playing on CTGP. But I would love for a showcase PB, even if it doesn't count, because then I got a PB on GDQ, right?
We've had plenty of folks who have PB'd or world record or, you know, just generally had a great time with their showcase, or like, hey, this was a marathon world record, or this was like my best showcase run yet. Like, I love that for people.
Ooh, that was very close. So what happened there was I was a little bit off of the alignment, so I got no air off of the tree. I hit the tree a little too hard.
Oh, actually, speaking of like live world records or live PBs, that actually happened at our PAX East stage last year. The Ricky and Vicky world record happened between myself and a tea tree.
Wow, impressive.
And if y'all want to see like another speedrun stage at PAX East, we actually are going to be at PAX East 2026. It's going to be us returning there March 26th through the 29th. If you want to find out more about PAX as a general event, you can go to east.paxsite.com. You can find out more about the show there, or use !PAX in Twitch chat for more info. We'll be dropping the schedule soon, TM, because we just closed submissions last week, I think, and the schedule's on its way, and we're cooking something great there. So if you're going to be in Boston in March for PAX, come say hello to us at the speedrun stage. We'd love to chat, and I'm going to be there, and I would love to meet folks who have watched the show or folks who want to get into speedrunning. I love talking to folks. Just like, come say hello. It would be wonderful. And you might be able to see stuff like this.
I guess I should also explain. The alignment isn't really as precise as I'm making it out to be. So it's precise in the fact that if you want the perfect alignment, you line up exactly with the ghost, but you can make it from here, like where I am right now. You could still make it there. There's like a range. The ghost is just an approximation. But I like to try and be in the approximation as much as possible to be as consistent as possible, even though clearly this isn't very consistent, considering how many times I have reset by now. Like here, I would actually already have resetted the speedrunner or gone for a fast lap. Because it would be fast, it would be more worth my time to either just reset the run to try and get a top time, or to specifically go for a fast lap world record.
Yeah.
Because that's the issues for specifically this track, I'd say. Well, not even just specifically this track. Any glitch in general in this game can be like that sometimes. And any track in this game can be like that sometimes, where you're just stuck. But you'll always eventually pull through. That's something I've learned throughout my time speedrunning this game. Well, it's pretty much been this game, but I've been wanting to learn every Mario Kart game. That's one of my main goals eventually.
Ooh.
So I've got almost every game now. I'm just missing Super Mario Kart, the first game.
Okay.
I'm missing Super Circuit that saves. I have a repo cart, unfortunately, that does not save.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I'm missing Mario Kart Double Dash and a GameCube.
Okay, yeah.
So those are the only ones I do not currently own. Everything else I have, including Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. I bought my Wii U literally because of Luigi's death stare memes. I was like not going to buy one yet, and the memes started, and I was like, okay, Kart 8 genuinely looks really fun. It is a very interesting speed game too.
Yeah.
Because there is a specific... In Mario Kart 8, every Mario Kart game has their own thing. Like Mario Kart Wii, there's the wheeling.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the big thing in Mario Kart Wii. The wheelie is so broken. But in Mario Kart 8, there's a specific tech called fire hopping and demon sliding. And they just go so fast.
Yeah.
It's so cool to watch.
Kart 8 is probably where the series really clicked with me, because I started with Kart 64 as a child. I didn't enjoy Super Circuit. DS I didn't own, but really loved doing the download play where it forced you onto like a limited set of tracks and Shy Guys.
Shy Guy.
Yeah. Because a friend of mine had Kart DS, and then Wii I skipped, and then I ended up on Kart 8 around the same time that I was playing Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, which is another very excellent like arcade kart style racer.
I used to own that game, I believe,
like,
on the Wii.
Yeah, or the original one ran on Wii. Transformed, I think, was on Wii U.
I think I owned the original Wii.
Yeah. Like, that game is also pretty good. I think Transformed edges it out, and then Team Sonic Racing was a choice that they made. And now we have
All right, this will be my last attempt, and then we'll quickly showcase my personal best.
Absolutely.
I just looked at the timer, and I'm like, oh, hey, we're about at that time.
Yeah, just about.
Okay. So I'm going to quickly showcase my personal best. The arcade games are interesting. So this is my PB. It uses the same alignment ghost that we were watching. So we're going to watch that real quick. And the main difference, obviously, is I'm using Baby Daisy instead of Dry Bones. Dry Bones, the stats are a little different. I do a little bit of a different setup here because I think it's funnier to just mess around. Like, see, I was in a very forward position and I still made the glitch. But obviously, it's also slower because I just align slower. That's pretty much the only difference between me and the current kart world record, apart from the very ending where I get a mini turbo and Phoenix gets a super mini turbo.
Okay.
I set this in about 30 minutes, I think, in one of my sessions when I wasn't really expecting it. But that's how a lot of my PBs tend to go nowadays because of how like fast I can go sometimes. I hit a little bit of off-road there too, but obviously it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, not with the.
And then here's the funny alignment. I just align somehow, and that's 3 for 3.
Yeah, you got that one very
obviously
fast.
I hold the fast lap kart record here with a 10.7, and that was probably one of my more surprising accomplishments. Nice pause. So now we're going to change course. Actually, I shouldn't have hit change course. I should have hit change character because we're going back to our favorite monkey. And we're going to pick the Flame Flyer and we're going to go to Rainbow Road. So Rainbow Road is the kart track. But obviously there's a bike here. So what gives? So very recently, the Flame Runner is slowly climbing the leaderboard. And this player, his name is Ivan, he is pushing for 224 and I'm on with a bike, which is insane. But we're on a kart because this is the current world record. The current world record, this is from Flare. And we're gonna quickly watch this ghost. Okay, but that's not that doesn't. And before I do anything else, I'm actually going to quickly turn on the visual course model again to showcase just how insane this first shortcut is by Flare. So we're gonna do a drift left into a drift hop, and we're gonna do a big shortcut here, and we're gonna even go through the out of bounds.
Oh my goodness.
Now the reason how we go through the out of bounds is a glitch called a fast wheelie glitch. Now even though a bike cannot wheelie, it was first discovered on a bike, so we call it a wheelie glitch. And this is called a jack strat right here, where we're just trying to go take that S-bend shortcut, but we need to do that in order to take the shortcut. And then here, this is called the zipper turn into the pass switch. So this is the zipper turn. And then this right here is the pass switch, where you just hop and you make it over. So now we're going to turn off the collision viewer here to specifically showcase the track on the next lap without the collision viewer. And obviously this is an insane run by Flare. So he does the kart moon jump. This is the first thing we're going to be doing in the run. And it's pretty consistent. I usually race a ghost while using it, so we're going to be racing one of my ghosts I've downloaded. We try to catch this wavy road cycle. The wavy road cycles, this is called a jack strat, and what we get in the middle there is called a pole bounce. We're trying to bounce off of the pole in the middle of the zippers, so like gain a big burst of speed. If you watch the speedometer on that section, you will see that we bounce up to like 119 or something. And then the pass switch obviously is the biggest hurdle on the track. The pass switch saves at least 0.6 to 0.5 depending on like your personal best from not doing it. So it's absolutely worth it. And anytime you see that Lakitu appear, that means we've gone out of bounds. So we're catching this wavy road cycle all 3 laps. we're catching this pole on the jack strat, the JAK strat, all 3 laps. We're getting that trick that's actually fairly inconsistent. And we're going into the cannon as far to the right as possible in order to stay as close to this wall as possible in order to make this pass switch. Pass switch is probably the most important part of the track. And that's how you set a 224.218. Sorry, 281. Alright, now let me quickly change Ghost. I do not race Flair's Ghost. I actually race Bob. This is a former world record, probably one of the most popular world records in Mario Kart history on YouTube. Actually. Because it was, I believe, the second 227, but it was second 224, but the one with the biggest, like, video quality. The highest video quality for a while. So we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be trying to do the same thing just a little bit slower. And we're trying to beat a 225.5, which I set about a few months ago at this point. So obviously I'm not driving as fast right now because I'm a little bit, I need to warm up a little on this track.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those tracks I don't expect anyone to get a PB first try.
Yeah. My PB is, and my best pace here is actually tied with Bob into lap 3. So I do a little strat here called a counter drift at there, like after the cannon. It's just an alignment thing. It's preference. It does save a tiny amount of time if you do it perfectly, but it's very inconsistent at the same time. It usually just is about the same. So we're doing the Cartman jump here. We drift left, hop left, and we just try and do this every time. Sometimes you hit the out of bounds because you don't do it right. And we're trying to get 4 tricks before the double flip trick ramp on the wavy road. But in order to do that properly, and this is actually where my biggest reset point is currently, on lap 1, it's right here. Because the wavy road, you have to get low air on the 4th trick in specific to catch the wavy road at the pace that I am on, usually trying to be on. So here, I'm going to have to be as far to the right as possible to get low air into that flip trick ramp, and then we have to immediately go into this jack strat. And I ended up falling off on the S.
Aww. That looks like a tough turn to, like, go into off of, like, landing there, honestly.
It is. I'm going to be real. It definitely is. But the other thing is, it's also just... At least it's not the fast lap.
Yeah, no, these the jumps and tricks and like the turns on this stage are just like really satisfying.
Ooh. So let's actually do a lap 1 fast lap. So the fast lap, you shroom there instead of doing the jack strat, and then you just shroom after cannon. But the reason why I'm doing this right now is just because I can. It's a cool showcase, and I get to the pass switch. Hey, I made it too. Let's see what we get here. It won't be a fast lap PD because the fast lap is way faster on lap 2 because of the wavy road cycle.
For sure.
I got a 0.6. That's by the standards of the players page, which is another website that people use for time trials. That would be considered a god standard. So there's standards on each track. The god standard for the Rainbow Road fast lap is a 48-second lap. Obviously, the standards have not changed since about 2012.
Okay.
So we have been working on a potential new standards for all 32 tracks, and the fast lap will probably be around 47 seconds, and this will be probably around 224. But it all just depends on what the community decides is fair for the times.
Yeah, if the standard times haven't been changed since 2012, that's a really long time ago.
It's a legacy website.
Yeah.
To be fair, but because when you think of the players page, you think of Mario Kart 64 first. You don't think of Mario Kart Wii. You think of Mario Kart 64 because that's the website domain. It's the players page is huge for all the older Mario Kart games before this game.
Yeah.
This is the first game that kind of left the players page behind because it specifically had online leaderboards.
Yeah.
Compared to all the other games. So where you would have to find out where specific track, like specifically where it is instead of just looking online. Sorry, I tend to focus.
No,
a
you're
lot on
okay.
this
I
track
want you to lock in. You can feel free to lock in. I can.
more than anything else.
Like I'm thinking, like when you're talking about like the player page and like how it's like meant for like older games or like historic times and stuff. I think about the Sonic Center for Sonic speedrunning, and I'm very much dating myself there.
That's basically a time trials. That's basically how the older games all have their leaderboards.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's mkwrs.com, which is basically a big conglomeration of all of the world records in every Mario Kart game. Glitches, no glitches, all of them. And this game's TT scene is still fairly active. I accidentally save stated, but I can just reset. It tends to happen when I am playing on the fast menu load screens because on CTGP in time trials, it disables the fast menu transition for time trials because obviously that's not vanilla and you would be very easy pause buffering by just, I'll showcase it really, because you can just do this. And obviously if you don't want that, you just don't allow it. But obviously in time trials, you can't do that, so we disallow it.
Right. Also, chat, I'm gonna start the debate. What's your favorite Rainbow Road in the series?
My hot take is that it's the GBA Rainbow Road.
I don't know that one well enough to sit there and have an opinion on it. Because I think GBA was the one I actually just like.
Because it is probably the most broken track in Mario Kart history, apart from the original Cheeseland from the same game.
Okay. Someone's saying 3D. Flicky's saying 3DS Rainbow Road. You know what? I can see it.
3DS Rainbow Road is a very good track. Also, there's another thing that's kind of inconsistent about this track. Sometimes you just don't get the airtime you need.
Oh yeah, no. If you're saying the players page UI is like not seen a refresh in a long time, and it looks
it has not.
The Sonic Center is very much the same way. Like that's an IL site for classic Sonic games, and it shows its age. Bless its heart. Oh.
So, I guess one other thing I should mention is I'm actually doing what's called a momentum hop at the bottom of the moon jump there. So I'm gaining speed while going sideways. It's not the same as ODM, but it's kind of similar. But it ends up just like carrying your momentum into that boost panel, and then you just carry that into the air. Oh, that was a bad start boost. See there, I don't even think I hit the out of bounds. I think I just barely missed it because Lakitu didn't show up. If Lakitu shows up, you know you went out of bounds.
Like, I don't...
And actually,
go for it.
I guess another thing I should say is that if you do the kart moon jump well enough, you can actually skip the checkpoint and your lap won't count.
Oh.
So you have to do it very precisely in order to make sure that does not happen. It's very hard for that to happen. I've only had it happen like once total, but it is possible.
I don't know. I'm thinking about the Rainbow Road thing. It's like I don't know that there's a Rainbow Road I don't that I almost said don't dislike. That would have been the hottest take of them all. I was like, hold on. I don't think there's a Rainbow Road that I actively dislike. I think my least favorite is probably Rainbow Road 8. Even though I still think the track is fine.
Less rainbow it is.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of the track a lot, but I think like there's something
the
about
space
it.
station is a good touch.
Yeah, I think the space station idea is really, really cool. I think there's just something about the track texture itself that like feels less magical.
Yeah,
it's very
it's
tech
not
heavy.
very rainbowy.
Yeah, it's very techno or very like metal. Whereas like I think I am a bit of a sucker with for Rainbow Road 9 right now, but I think that's recency bias. But and then of course there's
I will not be playing this in 200cc. Sorry, I
You're
just saw that and I had to say. That's my friend Cow. She is the current 200cc world record holder for this track.
It's more road than rainbow.
And it is very cool.
Yeah.
It is a very cool run for 200cc in specific. But it is also insanely difficult as well. And I'm very impressed that Cal managed to get the 200cc world record on this track.
Yeah, we had a 32-track 200cc run 2 weeks ago with Epic Crossover, and that's a really cool episode. Go check it out. But just like the difficulty that I assume that I can only imagine 200cc adds to various tracks, especially this one in particular.
In this track in specific, because you used a flame runner on it, the zipper turn after the cannon is one of the hardest in the game on 200cc.
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest on 100cc, as on 150 as well, not 100. That is also the only required zipper in the entire game. There's a fun fact for you. If you think about every other Mario Kart Wii track, all the other blue zippers are out of the way. You don't even have to take them on like a DK Summit, even though you would think, oh, you're supposed to take them on DK Summit. You don't have to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sitting there and thinking about it. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
If you think about it, they're just all. So I'm in reset. Heck. Again, I guess is the right term.
I know, like this is a hard track. Even the time trial track is what, 150 by default, or is it 100?
It is always 150 in this game.
Okay.
I believe that started in Mario Kart Double. No, I think it was Mario Kart Super Circuit that started it in 150. The first two games, Mario Kart 64 and Super Mario Kart, are 100cc, I believe.
Yeah, because I know like
and then every other game is 150cc, and then in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, there's obviously 200cc time trial as well.
That game was not designed for 200.
That was not designed for 200, but there are some insane time trialers, let me tell you.
Yeah, like I thought it was wild that they added that speed.
Time trialers that just keep pushing those records down. And it's very impressive to watch. Even today, people still play Deluxe. For time trials.
Deluxe is a great game. There are people who still play Deluxe for its online mode who like don't jive with Mario Kart Worlds online, and that's okay.
Or they just don't have a
Switch 2, yeah.
well.
Like
which I understand.
Yeah.
I do own Switch 2 in Mario Kart World. It's more of a casual game for me currently.
Yeah.
I have been wanting to learn it though, because obviously I want to learn every track in Mario Kart history for time trials. I think that would be a very fun and interesting way to show how much I've grown to love the series through playing Wii. And it's been a great experience overall so far. I've learned a few tracks in Mario Kart 64. I actually own the version of the game that lets you do the biggest skips, the Japanese 1.0.
Nice. That can be difficult to come by.
Yeah, I found it for like $20. It was great.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was very surprised when I found it. 8 Deluxe, what 8 Deluxe does is it's very reliant on soft drifting. So soft drifting obviously is kind of like what I'm doing here, where I'm like holding at an angle. But that game takes it up to another level. It's all soft drifting, snaking all the time.
Yeah, like I can only speak from a very casual perspective, but I think it's like I enjoy both 8 Deluxe and World, but I am terrible at world because I'm not good at any wall riding at all.
I've learned a few of the wall ride strats. So specifically, what is it? What track is it again? It's been a while since I played Mario Kart World, actually, but there is one track that I do know the wall ride, like, specific tech for. Just can't remember what it was off the top of my head. Because, like, you got tracks like Sky High Sunday, even though, like, that's obviously, it feels like it was made for World, and I'm pretty sure it was, but they ported it to 8 Deluxe specifically because they had the model for it so early, I would assume.
It is.
You can kind of tell in 8 Deluxe that it's more of a world track.
Yeah, it feels like it's in that development period where they were developing world tracks, and it just kind of ended up in the 8 DLC.
I thought Squeaky Clean Sprint would be in World, honestly, in the next Mario Kart game, because that felt like that just felt like it was not made for 8 Deluxe, but it was. Alright, so we missed the Super Mini Turbo there. That's what the Orange Mini Turbos are called. But we're just going to continue this out. Try to get more runs to Pass Switch. Alright, so what happened there in specific is that I got a bad trick. So there's a good trick and a bad trick. One that loses time, one that's safe, one that's normal. And I got the bad one. Because it just flings you in the air. Alright, let's see if we can make this. Nope, I don't get my hop timing.
Oh.
So the reason why this track is so difficult is the shortcuts, obviously, but that last one in particular is very precise on every vehicle that goes for it. So the cart, the bike, and another bike, the Shooting Star. This track is probably the only track in the game that has 3 potential vehicles for the world record. The carts, which have been the most dominant. The bike, the Flame Runner, which is finally catching up, learning Pass Switch, figuring it out finally. And then the Shooting Star, which is probably still the least developed, I'd say. But it also has its own specific tech that also does the Cartman jump, but on a bike, obviously, because it's an outside drift. You can only do that on outside drift. That first shortcut. That's why carts are used, because you can just conserve boosts throughout the entire track. So, like, after this Cartman jump, I'm in a boost for, like, what, 20 seconds? It was like, until the cannon, basically.
I think so.
So there I almost missed the... Yes, my friend Flam, who's the Mushroom Gorge guy I was talking about earlier, he's working on a task showcase to showcase the differences between all 3 vehicles.
Oh, that's really
cool. At a task level. Using all the RTA strategies that have been done. Including one that I don't really do, but it's basically an even faster Cartman jump that's way harder. But it is possible, and I know someone that I actually taught who learned it that way at first, and I was like, "How are you doing this?" Because like I've pulled up the comparison of it before on SP. The guy is like 0.2 ahead of the world record after Cartman jump. It's really funny. And yeah, this game, like, when we're talking about 200cc, this game definitely was not designed for 200cc in mind, but people still try it because it's fun.
Yeah.
And why take the fun out of it?
Exactly. Like, if it's a case where it's not your thing, like, absolutely, like, don't run what makes you unhappy.
Not my thing. 200cc is definitely not my thing in this game.
Yeah.
Nor in 8 Deluxe, really. But it's still a thing I can respect.
Yeah, like, it definitely adds a level of difficulty that, like, some folks do enjoy. And I think, like, for me, 200cc I haven't tried it in this, but in Kart 8 Deluxe...
It's very interesting to control.
Yeah, like, it looks like it looks like a monster to control, honestly.
It is. It is.
Like,
well, specifically for this, there's actually they added in brake drifting for 200cc, and even then, it's still difficult to control half the time.
yeah, and like when they introduced it into Kart 8 Deluxe, it was really fun. It's one of those like modes for me that are like, this is really silly. And when you are playing with friends who are all equally bad at the game with you, or equally good at the game with you, it can be like, it's just one of those like really silly things. It adds another layer to it, and it gives you something to do when you don't want to do 150 or 100. I played a lot of Kart 8 online, and a bit of Kart 8 Deluxe online, and got very used to 100cc speed just because that's what it defaults to for like I think the global rooms and stuff like that.
It's not global. It's more of it's VR based.
Yeah.
So it's based off of the room overall.
Okay.
So I guess I should explain what happened there. On lap 1, I did kind of a weird Cartman jump, but it still worked. It's very hard to save a Cartman jump that does that. I'm uniquely able to do it kind of consistently when that happens. And in my lap 2 of my own personal best, I actually do that to save the run. Because otherwise I would have probably reset, but I just continued because I was like, I'm still very early on in my session. But obviously now we're back on the normal stuff.
Yeah.
So another thing there is on that zipper turn, you actually, on that, not the zipper turn, sorry, on the turn before the cannon, the S-bend, you want to be as close to the wall as you can. And the reason why is actually not just because it's the tightest line, but because it specifically prevents bouncing. So you can sometimes bounce like to the middle of the cannon, and it's really bad when that happens. So in order to prevent that, you want to stay as close to the right of the wall as you can. Oh, I missed the thing. I'll try and showcase what I mean.
I'm also very curious, like, of all the tracks that you've run, what makes you come back to this one? Like, why is this one what draws you to this one specifically all the time?
Mainly because I'm good at it.
Fair.
It's one of the very few that I'm very good at. But also, it was originally a race to beat what's known as an expert staff ghost in CTGP. So every track has an expert staff ghost and a beginner staff ghost. And this one is fairly slow compared to what I am at now. Right. But at the time, it was just me also wanting to learn the kart strats in general.
Yeah.
And I found it fun. So after learning Cartman jump, I learned the middle section, the jack strat. And then after that, after a while, when I was around the 228 level, I just went for pass switch once out of pure boredom, and I made it.
Okay.
And I was hooked.
Yeah, like
So there's a pass switch.
Nice. Do you like, I assume your approach to learning new tracks is to do it in segments, like adding a new strat every step of the way, maybe?
For this track in specific, I learned it segmentally, but obviously I didn't have that luxury in like SP at the time.
Okay.
Nowadays I would have learned this in SP. Like when I'm eventually going to learn Mushroom Gorge ODM, and I'm going to do that segment thing. I'm going to segment it because ODM is very difficult.
Yeah.
And yes, this is actually considered the second hardest expert staff ghost, and my PB is 7 seconds faster than it. This just shows how hard Rainbow Road is in general.
Right.
And sorry, I'm just thinking again.
No, you're okay.
So we failed pass switch there on lap 2. We made it past lap 1, which is better than a lot of times. Sometimes I go for hours without even making it on lap 1.
Yeah.
But that's also just, I know I can do it, so I just keep going. Also, sorry for the occasional look backs. I just do that from time to time on the Cartman jump because it looks fun.
No, it's okay. Like, do what entertains you. like the thing about time trials and individual levels in speedrunning is that they are very, very repetitive. And if you don't find a way to entertain yourself when you're in a spiral of resets on like a session that isn't
I
getting
guess
anywhere,
the other thing is
you need fun.
I've been playing the fast lap a lot recently. And you have to drive a whole lap and then you have to wait.
Yep.
So it's basically, and if you fall off, obviously you have to reset early, and it's just like, well, there goes another minute. And it's like, oh man. So you like get so bored that you just do fun challenges. Like I sometimes try to do the entire track without drifting.
Oh.
On the flame flyer, which has very bad handling. So it's a little difficult. You have to slow down on the S-bend.
Oh, I believe that.
The Ghost Valley Expert Staff Ghost, I guess we're talking about that in chat. I wouldn't even consider that very difficult, honestly, if you're like... I think the hardest right now is probably the BC3, not the BC3. I've recently beaten that. The hardest is probably N64 Bowser's Castle, because that's a 234 on a very much slower vehicle, much slower combo, but it's still like driven by an insanely good player who's insane at the track. And it's like, I'm not getting close to that time anytime soon. I'd have to learn the track more, which I don't have. I haven't really put in the effort to learn the track yet.
Yeah, like it'll come eventually.
Like the beginner level. It'll come eventually, but right now it's this track and the other tracks that we've showcased today. Oh, there goes my mini turbo.
Oh.
And I hit the wall. I mean on vanilla game. Right, the vanilla game. So technically GV2 is the hardest in the vanilla game, but since we're talking time trials and more specific so it would be more CTGP focused. Although they did actually recently buff some expert staff ghosts. In particular, the Grumble Volcano expert staff ghost got buffed by about 2 seconds, which means I actually lost the beating that.
Oh my god.
So I have to go back to Grumble Volcano and beat it at some point. Which is unfortunate, but you live and learn.
Oh yeah. These things happen, like it'll be the zoom out on the out of bounds is I don't know why that got me.
Yeah, the zoom out on the out of bounds is very fun sometimes.
It's just funky in space. I think the fact that he's just like, it looks like he's just falling to Earth in that zoom out.
Well, he is.
He's
literally
is.
falling to Canada.
Yeah.
That's technically Canada now.
Oh god.
If we're being realistic. If you look closely, you're just falling to Canada. Oh, just missed. So there, I didn't get enough sideways, basically. If you notice as well, I'm actually releasing drift, like, right before I, like in the middle of the air and start another drift.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why I do that in specific is for a better line afterwards. Because if you just hold it, I'll showcase by holding it once I actually get another Cartman jump real quick. But the reason is you kind of just swing out to the side compared to just not holding it. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think I know what I'm doing wrong though. So I guess the other thing is Cartman jump is very free with how much room you have. You just have to nosedive or tail dive at different times in order to consistently get it, basically. So, like, for that one, I would have had to nosedive earlier than the ghost, but if I was to the right of the ghost, I would start tail diving later. Basically, I'm going neutral now instead of... So there I let go. Obviously, I caught up to it because that was a really good one. So I let go of the drift instead of trying to showcase the holding. But in about, I'd say 3 more attempts, I'm going to showcase my personal best and my fast lap personal best, if that's okay. Because I would like to showcase my fast lap, as I don't think I've actually showcased it anywhere. And it is the second best fast lap in the world. And I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
I just had to check what time it was again. Oh, that was a little close. So what happened there is I just didn't trick. You have to shake the wheelie the nunchuck in order to trick. So sometimes trick input just doesn't like to work. And I guess the other thing is, oh, there's a fun one. All right, I'll give it one more attempt. And then we'll switch over to my personal best showcase.
Yeah, I'm very interested in seeing that because I know you're quite proud of it.
Yes. Okay. Okay, we're gonna showcase the ghosts. Okay. Let me also quickly go to the time trial Discord because that's where I posted my flat timing because it's like in a 3-minute time. So this is my personal best. It's a 0.526. Now, obviously that's pretty far away from the world record, but that's still insanely good compared to like most other players in the game. Because obviously, look at all these times that I've set. These are all saved onto my SD card. There's 27 total pages, and these are just because like they go all the way down to here because of timing.
Yeah.
So let's watch my PB while I also go find my timing for the fast lap real quick. So obviously the Cartman jump goes very well. I've got the time I need to look for. Because I can't exactly... On SP, unfortunately, you cannot sort by fastest lap overall. You can sort by lap 1 pace. You can sort by your best lap 1 and your best pace overall. But you cannot exactly sort by your best lap. So obviously, I make pass switch here. It's a little bit different to how the world record does it. I've been trying to learn the world record way a bit more. Because I believe it's a little more consistent than what I do. So obviously I get a 505 there, and then I make a mistake. I mess up Cartman jump. That lost me about 0.1 on this run. Just right there. But I still make Cartman jump. I get the extra trick here, which is something that's cycle dependent. So the wavy road, obviously. And I don't get a pull bounce there. I got a pull bounce on lap 1. The pull bounce is right in the middle. I got a few bounces, but I ended up to the right of the cannon anyways, but I still did the counter drift here. And then obviously here is the second pass switch. And I'm drifting off of that last ramp in order to charge this super mini turbo faster right there. It doesn't look like much, but it is a small time save. 5.31, and then the lap 3 is a 0.4 lap 3. My best pace is a 0.3 lap 1 into a 0.4 lap 2. And my best splits give just about a 224. I make a mistake here. I still catch the wavy road trick. And we catch the pole for the pole bounce. It's not the perfect pole bounce, but it is a pole bounce. And obviously, at this point, I'm just saying to myself, breathe, you've got this.
Mm-hmm. Because I imagine the nerves are going.
The nerves are going. It was like, and I get a very good pass switch compared to my first two. And I just finished the run out. It was a bad ending here, but it still ended up being a 225.2. Sorry, 225.526. All right, now let me quickly change the ghosts. It is this is the current world record. This is the fast lap world record ghost. I'm going to compare them. It's 455. Watch two ghosts. So Elson, this record is from 2020.
Okay.
That's how long this record has stood. It stood since I started playing. So we're just gonna drive. Like, this is the boring part. This is the part where it's like, help.
Yeah, because you have to set up for the cycle in lap 2.
And the cycle specifically, there's a specific star that I set up at near the end of the road. You see on the sides, there's like stars.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I set up around. Like here, I'm just making all sorts of driving errors. Nearly falling off. I think I failed the zipper turn as usual. Oh, I didn't. Hooray. But here, we're hitting that because we can. And I'm going to call time at once the fast lap is over.
Mm-hmm. If
that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're just messing around a little. So we're trying to line up with this specific star where the Funky's back left tire is, where the A in Mario Kart, you kind of can't see it because of the speedometer, but the A in Mario Kart is partially covered.
Okay.
So now we're just waiting for the correct cycle. And I go at 1:33. Elson goes at around the same time at a different spot. And here we go. We enter the lap with a mini turbo, and then we do the Cartman jump almost immediately. And we just make it. We catch a great wavy road cycle here. We get all the tricks. We don't do the jackstrap, we do the ring tricks, so we go off the back side of the rings to get the tricks. That's faster.
Ooh.
And we shroom. And as long as you stay here, and then we shroom here. Now this is where I lose my time compared to the world record. I get a bad zipper turn, and this costs me the world record, I think. Because that was a great pat switch. And that will do it. That is time.
GG. That is such impressive movement in this game. Oh my god.
Yeah. So obviously, Rainbow Road, very difficult track overall. Let me just go out to the main menu. So, for my shout-outs, I would like to shout out specifically the Mario Kart Wii time trial community in general. They're all great. A lot of us help each other out all the time. So we have our main Discord. We kind of focus on Discord, but the players page is also a great place to get information. I'm hopefully going to be joining the players page soon to specifically distribute more information, as well as make tutorials on tracks like Rainbow Road and DS Peach Gardens Automatic, because they are some of the most lacking tracks overall in order of, say, a tutorial. Right. I had to learn pretty much all of this on my own, and I've become one of the best players at these tracks, which is incredible to happen in the first place. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm thrilled for you, and I'm like looking forward to seeing where you go from here, and like just you're going on a long journey over time as well to learn every Mario Kart time trial track as well in the series.
It will take a long time, yes.
It will.
But I do know I can do it.
Oh, absolutely, and especially since it's still a series that is. It's not a dormant series. It gets new entries.
It's not a dormant series. It's not a dormant series. Eventually, there's going to be another game I have to learn.
Oh, yeah. There's a passion project out there for everyone. I'm glad that you found yours. And chat, thank you all so much. Thank you, by the way, for showcasing this. And like, I've been thrilled having you and Flicky on, and also Epic from last week. Incredible Mario Kart Wii stuff. And again, chat, if you wanted to find the links to the various mods that were showcased between Epic's 200cc run and this time trial showcase, I'm going to type in the command, the Passion Project command in chat. Use the second link there, the one that ends in /links, and I'll give you links to everything that you would need relevant to this episode, as well as the Passion Project YouTube playlist if you want to go back and watch past episodes, including the one from 2 weeks ago with Epic Crossover. But that's going to be it for us, and I hope to. I'll be back on Friday, March 20th at 10 p.m. Eastern. So there's fatales and and everything in between leading up to that point. So my next show will be Friday, March 20th at 10 p.m. Eastern. And thank you all for being here tonight. And please remember to look after yourselves and your loved ones. Drink some water, stretch your legs, eat a snack, take your medication or vitamins if you need to. And remember that you're valid, you deserve the best, and the world is a better place with you still in it. I'll be back, like I said, on Friday, March 20th at 10 p.m. Eastern. If I can't say it anymore, like I might forget myself. Tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for Mystery Tournament 20 qualifiers. And if you missed out on Fast Travel or Passion Project, stay tuned as we replay both shows after this. And you can also check out twitch.tv/GDQ TV, which is GDQ's 24/7 always on channel where you can choose your